One day, near the end of your life, you may ask yourself a question that will either bring peace or deep regret. Was my life really that bad? And the answer may shock you. Because when you look back, you might discover that most of your suffering came not from what happened to you, but from what your mind kept replaying. The bad days, the mistakes, the disappointments, the people who hurt you, while the good moments quietly passed by unnoticed. Buddhism teaches that the mind can turn a temporary storm into a permanent prison. And if you are not careful, you can spend your entire life remembering the pain and forgetting the life that existed around it. So today, let's break free from that prison before it's too late. 1. Bad days are visitors, not your permanent home. Bad days come into everyone's life, but they are not meant to become your permanent home. A difficult day can make you feel tired, disappointed, lonely, or hopeless, but it does not mean your whole life is broken. In Buddhism, one of the deepest teachings is impermanence. This means everything changes. Happiness changes, sadness changes, problems change, and even the pain that feels heavy today will not stay the same forever. The real problem begins when people start believing that one bad moment is their whole life. One bad week makes them think the entire year is ruined. One rejection makes them believe they will never be loved. One failure makes them feel useless. One lonely night makes them think they will always be alone. But this is not the truth. This is only the tired mind speaking from pain. A bad day is like a storm passing through the sky. The storm may be loud, dark, and heavy, but it does not mean the sky has disappeared. In the same way, your pain may feel strong, but it has not destroyed your whole life. It is only passing through you. You must not build your identity around something temporary. When a bad day comes, remind yourself gently, this is painful, but it is not permanent. Do not say, my life is terrible. Say, today is difficult, but today is not my whole life. This small change can protect your peace. A bad day can visit you, but you do not have to let it own you. You can feel the pain, breathe through it, and still remember that better days can come again. 2. Do not let pain make you blind to small blessings. Pain has a way of making people blind to the good things that are still around them. When your heart is heavy, your mind only looks at what went wrong, who hurt you, what you lost, and what is missing from your life. Slowly, one painful thing starts covering everything else, and you begin to feel like there is nothing good left. But this is not always true. Many times, pain does not remove all blessings. It only makes you stop noticing them. In Buddhism, mindfulness teaches us to see the present moment clearly. This means you do not deny your pain, but you also do not let pain become the only thing you see. Maybe your day is difficult, but you still have breath in your body. Maybe your heart is tired, but you still have another chance to begin again. Maybe something went wrong, but there may still be a small peaceful moment waiting for you. A simple meal, a quiet morning, a kind message, a few minutes of rest, or even the ability to breathe calmly can become a blessing when you learn to notice it. These small things may not fix your whole life, but they can remind you that your whole life is not only suffering. There is still something gentle, something peaceful, and something worth appreciating. When you are having a bad day, try to find one small thing that is still okay. Do not force fake happiness. Just notice one little blessing. Say to yourself, yes, I am hurting, but not everything is pain. This thought can protect your heart from becoming completely hopeless. Bad days may take your energy, but do not let them take your ability to see the small gifts that life is still giving you. 3. Stop believing every thought your pain creates. When you are hurt, your mind can create very painful thoughts. It may tell you that nothing will ever get better, nobody cares about you, you are not strong enough, or your life will always stay the same. But in Buddhism, we learn that thoughts are not always truth. Many thoughts are only temporary clouds passing through the mind. A bad day becomes heavier when you believe every negative thought that appears. If you fail once, your mind may say, I will never succeed. If someone leaves, your mind may say, no one will ever stay. If you feel lonely for one night, your mind may say, I will always be alone. But these thoughts are not facts. They are only thoughts created by pain, fear, and tiredness. This is why you must learn to pause before believing your mind. When a painful thought comes, do not immediately accept it as truth. Look at it calmly and say, "This is only a thought. It is not my whole reality." This small awareness can stop your mind from making your suffering bigger. In Buddhism, mindfulness teaches you to observe your thoughts instead of becoming trapped inside them. You do not need to fight every thought. You only need to watch it, understand it, and let it pass. When your mind says, "My life is over," remind yourself this is pain speaking, not truth. When your mind says, "Nothing will change," remind yourself, this is fear speaking, not reality. Your pain may create dark thoughts, but you do not have to build your life around them. A thought can come and go, just like a cloud in the sky. Let it pass. Do not let one painful thought decide the meaning of your whole life. 4. Your suffering is real, but it is not your whole identity. Your suffering is real, and you should never feel ashamed for feeling pain. If something hurt you, then it hurt you. If life made you tired, then you are allowed to feel tired. If someone disappointed you, rejected you, betrayed you, or left you confused, you do not have to pretend that everything is fine. Buddhism does not teach people to hide their pain or act strong all the time. It teaches people to understand their pain clearly, without letting that pain become their whole identity. Many people suffer twice. First, they suffer because something painful happens in life. Then they suffer again because they start believing that pain defines who they are. One failure makes them say, "I am a failure." One heartbreak makes them say, "I am unlovable." One bad season makes them say, "My life is always bad." But there is a big difference between experiencing pain and becoming pain. You may have gone through something difficult, but that does not mean you are only a broken person. In Buddhism, attachment is one of the main causes of suffering. This does not only mean attachment to people, money, or things. Sometimes people become attached to their painful story. They repeat the same hurt again and again in their mind. They keep reminding themselves of what happened, who hurt them, what they lost, and how unfair life was. Slowly, the pain becomes part of their identity. They stop saying, "I went through a hard time," and they start saying, "This is who I am." But you are not only what happened to you. You are not only your sadness. You are not only your mistakes. You are not only the days when you felt weak, lost, or hopeless. You are also the person who survived those days. You are also the person who kept breathing when life felt heavy. You are also the person who is still here, still learning, still growing, and still capable of becoming peaceful again. Think about the sky. Some days there's full of dark clouds. Some days there is rain, thunder, and storm. But the sky itself is not destroyed by the storm. The storm only passes through it. In the same way, sadness may pass through your heart, fear may pass through your mind, and pain may pass through your life. But none of these things are your whole self. They are experiences. They are not your permanent identity. When you say, "I am broken," your mind starts accepting brokenness as your truth. But when you say, "I am healing," you give yourself space to grow. When you say, "I always suffer," you close the door to peace. But when you say, "I am passing through a difficult season," you remind yourself that this season can change. The words you use for yourself matter because your heart listens to them. Your bad days may have changed you, but they do not have to destroy you. They may have taught you painful lessons, but they do not have to steal your entire future. You can carry wisdom from your suffering without carrying the full weight of suffering every day. You can remember what happened without living inside it forever. So be gentle with yourself. Do not turn your wounds into your name. Do not make your pain your whole personality. Do not let one painful chapter convince you that the whole book of your life is tragic. You are allowed to hurt, but you are also allowed to heal. You are allowed to cry, but you are also allowed to smile again. You are allowed to feel tired, but you are also allowed to begin again. Your suffering is real, but it is not all of you. You are more than your pain. You are more than your past. You are more than your worst day. And as long as you are still alive, your story can still change. 5. Return to the present before your mind destroys your peace. Most suffering becomes heavier when the mind leaves the present moment. A bad day may begin with one problem, one disappointment, or one painful moment, but the mind does not stop there. It starts running backward into the past and forward into the future. It remembers old mistakes, old heartbreaks, old failures, and old words that hurt you. Then it jumps into tomorrow and imagines more problems, more rejection, more loss, and more fear. Before you realize it, you are no longer facing one bad day. You are carrying the weight of your whole past and your whole imagined future at the same time. This is why many people feel exhausted, even when nothing new is happening in front of them. Their body is sitting in one place, but their mind is fighting 100 battles. They are thinking about what happened yesterday, what might happen tomorrow, what people think about them, what they should have done, and what could go wrong next. A tired mind can turn a small problem into a mountain. It can take one painful moment and make it feel like your whole life is falling apart. In Buddhism, the present moment is deeply important because it is the only place where life is actually happening. The past is already gone. You can learn from it, but you cannot go back and change it. The future has not arrived yet. You can prepare for it, but you cannot control every detail of it. The only place where you have real power is this moment, this breath, this step, this simple moment in front of you. When a bad day comes, your first job is not to solve your entire life. Your first job is to return to yourself. Come back to your breath. Come back to your body. Come back to the room you are sitting in. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice the air entering and leaving your body. Listen to the sounds around you. Look at one simple thing in front of you. This may seem small, but it is powerful because it brings your mind back from fear into reality. A lot of suffering is created by living in thoughts that are not happening right now. You may be thinking, what if everything gets worse? But right now you are breathing. You may be thinking, what if I never heal? But right now you are alive and aware. You may be thinking, what if my life stays like this forever? But right now, all you truly have to face is this one moment. When you return to the present, you stop fighting problems that are not even here yet. This does not mean you ignore your responsibilities. It does not mean you pretend the past never happened or act like the future does not matter. It only means you stop giving your mind permission to destroy your peace with endless fear. You handle life one moment at a time. You do what you can do now. You take one small step now. You breathe now. You rest now. You choose one wise action now. Buddhism teaches that peace begins with awareness. Awareness means noticing where your mind has gone. If your mind is stuck in regret, gently bring it back. If your mind is lost in fear, gently bring it back. If your mind is creating painful stories, gently bring it back. You do not have to be harsh with yourself. You do not have to fight your thoughts like an enemy. Just return again and again to the present moment. When your day feels too heavy, say to yourself, I do not have to live my whole life today. I only have to live this moment. This simple reminder can calm your heart. You do not need to fix every mistake today. You do not need to answer every question today. You do not need to understand your whole future today. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is breathe slowly, drink water, rest your body, and take one small step forward. Bad days become less powerful when you stop feeding them with past regret and future fear. The present moment may not be perfect, but it is usually more peaceful than the world your mind creates. Come back to now. Come back to your breath. Come back to what is real. Your mind may try to pull you into darkness, but your awareness can bring you back to peace. Remember, your life is not happening yesterday, and it is not happening tomorrow. It is happening right now. If you can return to this moment even gently, you can stop one bad day from becoming a whole life of suffering. 6. Do not pray a perfect life. Before you start living, many people spend their whole life waiting for life to become perfect before they allow themselves to truly live. They keep saying, I will be happy when my problems are gone. I will enjoy life when I have more money. I will feel peaceful when people start treating me better. I will start living when everything becomes easy. But the painful truth is that life may never become completely perfect. There may always be something unfinished, something uncertain, something painful, or something that still needs healing. If you wait for a perfect life before you start living, you may waste many beautiful days that were still worth experiencing. In Buddhism, life is not described as a place where everything will always go according to your wishes. Buddhism teaches that suffering is part of human life. People change, situations change, bodies change, relationships change, and plans change. This does not mean life is hopeless. It means we must learn how to live with wisdom, instead of waiting for life to become free from every problem. Peace does not come from controlling everything. Peace comes from learning how to stay present, grateful, and aware, even when life is not perfect. Most people think happiness will arrive after everything is fixed. They believe peace is something that will come later, after the struggle is over. But this way of thinking can become a trap, because after one problem ends, another problem may appear. After one goal is reached, another goal begins. After one worry disappears, the mind finds another worry. If your happiness depends on having no problems, then your happiness will always be delayed. This is why bad days can become dangerous, not because they are painful, but because they make people pause their whole life. A person goes through a hard time, and suddenly they stop enjoying anything. They stop noticing the morning. They stop laughing with people. They stop taking care of their body. They stop dreaming. They stop trying. They say, "I cannot live until this pain is gone." But if the stays for a while, their life also stays on pause for a while. Slowly, one bad season steals many days that could still have contained small moments of peace. You must understand this clearly. Living does not mean everything is perfect. Living means you are still choosing to be present even while life is imperfect. You can have problems and still enjoy a cup of tea. You can be healing and still smile at something small. You can be uncertain about the future and still take a peaceful walk. You can have sadness in your heart and still appreciate the sky, the air, the food on your table, and the people who still care about you. Your life does not need to be perfect before it becomes meaningful. In Buddhism, mindfulness teaches us to meet the present moment as it is, not as we wish it was, not as we imagined it would be, not as we think it should be, but as it is right now. This is powerful because many people reject the present moment simply because it is not perfect. They say, "This is not the life I wanted, so I cannot enjoy anything." But when you reject the present moment, you reject the only place where life is actually happening. The past is gone. The future has not arrived. The only place where you can breathe, learn, love, rest, grow, and begin again is now. If you keep waiting for a perfect future, you may miss the life that is already in your hands. A peaceful life is not built by waiting for perfect days. It is built by learning how to find small peace inside ordinary and imperfect days. Think about how many simple moments people ignore because they are waiting for something bigger. They rush through breakfast because they are worried about tomorrow. They ignore a kind person because they are still thinking about someone who hurt them. They miss a beautiful sunset because their mind is busy replaying old pain. They forget to enjoy their health until they lose it. They forget to appreciate silence until life becomes noisy. They forget to value today until today becomes a memory. This is why you must not let bad days make you forget how to live. A bad day may make you tired, but it should not make you blind. A bad day may bring pain, but it should not erase every blessing. A bad day may slow you down, but it should not convince you that life has nothing left to offer. Even on a difficult day, there may still be one small thing worth noticing. One peaceful breath, one quiet moment, one kind word, one simple meal, one chance to rest, one chance to begin again tomorrow. Many people feel guilty when they enjoy small moments during hard times. They think, "How can I smile when I still have problems? How can I rest when my life is not fixed? How can I enjoy anything when I am still hurting?" But this guilt is not wisdom. You are allowed to feel peace, even while you are healing. You are allowed to laugh, even if your life is not perfect. You are allowed to rest, even if you still have responsibilities. You are allowed to enjoy a small moment without pretending that your pain does not exist. Smiling for a moment does not mean your suffering is fake. Resting for a while does not mean you are weak. Enjoying one peaceful moment does not mean you have forgotten your problems. It only means you are still human. It means your heart still remembers that life is not only pain. It means you are giving yourself permission to breathe instead of drowning completely in sadness. Buddhism teaches the middle way. This means we do not run away from pain, but we also do not drown in it. We do not deny suffering, but we also do not worship suffering. We do not pretend life is perfect, but we also do not call the whole of life terrible just because one part is painful. This balance is very important. You can accept that you are going through a hard time while still allowing yourself to receive small moments of peace. A person who waits for a perfect life is always waiting. But a person who learns to live in an imperfect life becomes free. They understand that today may not be easy, but it is still a day of life. They understand that their heart may be healing, but it is still capable of feeling beauty. They understand that some things are missing, but not everything is missing. They understand that life does not have to be complete before it can be appreciated. Look at nature. The tree does not wait for perfect weather before it grows. It grows through heat, wind, rain, and cold. The flower does not wait for the world to become quiet before it opens. It opens when its time comes. The river does not stop moving because there are rocks in its path. It flows around them. In the same way, you should not stop living just because life is not perfect. You must learn to grow through difficulty. Open your heart in small ways and keep moving even when the path is not smooth. Your bad days may tell you to stop living until everything becomes better, but wisdom tells you to live gently even now. Do not wait until your mind is completely calm before you take care of yourself. Take care of yourself so your mind can slowly become calm. Do not wait until you feel strong before you take one small step. Take one small step, and strength will slowly return. Do not wait until you feel happy before you notice life. Notice life, and small happiness may slowly begin to return. Sometimes people think living means doing something big. They think they must travel, succeed, achieve, or have a perfect lifestyle to feel alive. But real living is often very simple. It is breathing slowly after a hard day. It is eating with awareness. It is listening to peaceful words. It is sitting quietly without fighting yourself. It is forgiving yourself for not being perfect. It is choosing not to give up on your heart. It is taking a shower, cleaning your space, walking outside, praying, meditating, or simply telling yourself, I am still here and I will continue. You do not need a perfect life to practice peace. You can practice peace in the middle of confusion. You can practice patience in the middle of delay. You can practice gratitude in the middle of uncertainty. You can practice kindness towards yourself while you are still healing. This is the real strength Buddhism points toward. Not a life without storms, but a mind that slowly learns how not to become the storm. If you keep waiting for life to become perfect, your mind will always find a reason to delay happiness. It will say, yet, wait until you have more. Wait until you look better. Wait until people approve of you. Wait until the future is safe. Wait until you are completely healed. But healing does not happen by postponing life. Healing happens while you live, while you learn, while you breathe, while you take small steps, and while you allow yourself to experience life again. Do not make your happiness so far away that you can never reach it. Bring it closer. Make it simple. Let happiness be one calm breath. Let peace be one quiet moment. Let hope be one small step. Let healing be one gentle choice today. You do not need to fix your entire life before you can feel 1 second of peace. Sometimes, 1 second of peace is the beginning of your return to life. A bad day can make you believe that nothing is worth enjoying. But that is not true. Life is still happening. The sun still rises. Your breath still comes and goes. The world still holds small beauty. There are still things you have not learned, people you have not met, places you have not seen, and versions of yourself you have not become. Do not let today's pain make you close the door on tomorrow's possibility. You may be tired, but you are not finished. You may be hurt, but you are not empty. You may feel lost, but life can still guide you back slowly. You may not feel happy right now, But that does not mean happiness has disappeared forever. Sometimes your only job is to keep your heart open enough to receive the next small light. This is why you must not wait for a perfect life before you start living. Start living in small ways now. Drink your tea slowly. Notice the sky. Take care of your body. Speak kindly to yourself. Rest without guilt. Smile when something is genuinely beautiful. Allow yourself to enjoy small moments without needing everything to be fixed first. These little acts may look simple, but they are powerful. They remind your mind that pain is not the whole story. One day you may look back and realize that life was never perfect, but it was still precious. You may realize that even during hard seasons, there were small moments you could have held with gratitude. You may realize that you did not need to wait so long to breathe, smile, forgive, rest, and live. So do not wait until the finality of you realize truth. Live now, even if life is imperfect. Breathe now, even if your heart is still healing. Be grateful now, even if something is missing. Begin again now, even if you do not feel fully ready. Your bad days are not asking you to stop living. They are asking you to live with more awareness, more softness, and more wisdom. Life does not have to be perfect to be beautiful. Your heart does not have to be fully healed to feel peace. Your path does not have to be clear for you to take one small step. Do not pause your whole life because of one painful season. Do not let bad days convince you that there is nothing left to enjoy. You are still alive, and because you are still alive, there is still something to notice, something to learn, something to heal, something to appreciate, and something to begin again. This day may not be perfect, but it is still part of your life. Do not throw it away. Live it gently, live it wisely, live it with awareness. Because the life you keep waiting for is not somewhere far away. It is already here, asking you to come back to it. 7. Let your bad days teach you. Not bury you. Bad days can either bury you or teach you. They can make you bitter, or they can make you wiser. They can make you close your heart, or they can help you understand life more deeply. They can make you believe that your story is over, or they can become the painful chapter that teaches you how strong you really are. The difference is not always in what happens to you. The difference is in how you choose to understand what happened. In Buddhism, suffering is not ignored. Buddhism does not tell you to pretend that pain does not exist. It does not tell you to smile falsely when your heart is breaking. It does not tell you to act peaceful while your mind is full of storms. Buddhism teaches you to look at suffering clearly, honestly, and wisely. It teaches you that pain is part of life, but pain does not have to become the end of life. A bad day may hurt you, but it can also awaken you. A difficult season may break some part of your old self, but it can also teach you how to become more aware, more patient, and more peaceful. Many people go through painful moments, but they never learn from them. They only carry the wound. They repeat the pain in their mind again and again. They keep asking, why did this happen to me? But they never ask, what can this teach me? Because of this, their bad days become chains. The pain stays connected to their identity, their choices, their relationships, and their future. They stop living freely because one bad season still controls the way they see themselves and the world. But your bad days are not meant to bury you forever. They are not meant to become a grave for your dreams, your peace, your kindness, or your hope. They may slow you down, but they do not have to stop you. They may hurt your heart, but they do not have to turn your heart cold. They may take something from you, but they can also give you wisdom that you never had before. Every painful experience carries a lesson, even if you cannot see it immediately. Sometimes the lesson is patience. Sometimes the lesson is self-respect. Sometimes the lesson is letting go. Sometimes the lesson is learning not to trust every person too quickly. Sometimes the lesson is learning to stop depending on others for your peace. Sometimes the lesson is learning that you are stronger than you thought. Sometimes the lesson is simply learning that life is precious, and you should not waste it living in anger, regret, and fear. When failure comes, it can teach you humility. It can show you where you need to grow. It can show you what needs more discipline, more patience, or more attention. If you let failure bury you, you will only say, I am useless. That is not wisdom. That is pain speaking. Failure is not the end of your worth. It is information. It is a teacher. It shows you that something needs to change, something needs to improve, or something needs to be understood more clearly. When rejection comes, it can teach you self-worth. It can show you that not everyone who leaves is meant to stay. It can teach you that your value does not depend on one person choosing you. But if you let rejection bury you, you will start believing, I am not lovable. That is not truth. That is your wounded heart trying to explain pain. Rejection may hurt deeply, but it does not decide your value. It only shows that one door closed. It does not mean every door in life is closed. When loneliness comes, it can teach you how to sit with yourself. It can teach you how to listen to your own mind, understand your own heart, and become your own safe place. But if you let loneliness bury you, you will begin to believe that you are abandoned by life. That is not always true. Sometimes loneliness is not a punishment. Sometimes it is a quiet space where you are being invited to return to yourself. When disappointment comes, it can teach you clarity. It can show you who truly respects you, who only uses you, what you truly want, and what you must stop chasing. But if you let disappointment bury you, you will become bitter and stop trusting everything. You will think every person is the same, every opportunity is dangerous, and every dream will end in pain. That is not wisdom. That is fear wearing the mask of protection. This is why Buddhism teaches awareness. Awareness helps you look at pain without becoming completely lost in it. When a bad day comes, awareness asks, what is happening inside me right now? It helps you notice your anger, sadness, fear, and disappointment. It helps you see your thoughts instead of blindly following them. It helps you understand that pain is present, but pain does not have to control your whole life. Without awareness, a bad day can easily become a bad identity. You may start saying, I am unlucky, I am broken, I am always alone, nothing good happens to me. But with awareness you can say, I am going through a difficult moment, but this moment is not all of me. I am learning something, I am healing slowly, I am still alive, I can still choose my next step. This small difference is powerful. One way buries you, the other way teaches you. Your bad days can teach you what truly matters. Many people do not understand life until pain wakes them up. Before pain, they chase things that do not really matter. They care too much about people's opinions. They waste time trying to impress others. They stay in places that hurt them. They ignore their health, their peace, their family, their spiritual life, and their own heart. Then a difficult season comes, and suddenly they begin to see clearly. They realize that peace matters more than pride. Health matters more than ego. Time matters more than unnecessary drama. Self-respect matters more than being accepted by everyone. Pain can strip away illusions. It can show you what is real and what is empty. It can show you who truly stands with you and who only stands near you when life is easy. It can show you which dreams are worth building and which desires were only distractions. It can show you the parts of yourself that need healing, discipline, forgiveness, and wisdom. But this only happens if you stay awake inside your pain. If you fall into bitterness, you miss the lesson. If you drown in self-pity, you miss the lesson. If you spend all your energy blaming life, blaming people, and blaming the past, you may miss the wisdom that your suffering is trying to give you. This does not mean the people who hurt you were right. It does not mean your pain was fair. It only means you refuse to let pain be wasted. In Buddhism, suffering can become a doorway to awakening. This means that the same pain that could destroy your peace can also lead you toward deeper understanding. A person who has suffered and learned from it becomes different. They become more compassionate because they know what pain feels like. They become more patient because they know healing takes time. They become less arrogant because they understand that life can change quickly. They become more grateful because they know peace is not something to take for granted. This is how bad days can become teachers. They teach you to stop rushing through life. They teach you to value the simple things. They teach you to be kinder to people because everyone is carrying something hidden. They teach you to protect your mind from unnecessary stress. They teach you to stop giving your energy to things that only drain your soul. They teach you that life is too short to spend every day trapped in anger, worry, and regret. But remember this clearly. Learning from pain does not mean you should love pain. It does not mean you should accept disrespect, stay in harmful places, or pretend that suffering is beautiful. No, pain is still pain. A wound is still a wound. A loss is still a loss. Buddhism does not ask you to become passive. It asks you to become conscious. It asks you to understand suffering deeply so you can respond with wisdom instead of reacting with blindness. If someone hurts you, the lesson may be to create distance. If a habit destroys your peace, the lesson may be to change it. If a relationship makes you lose yourself, the lesson may be to let go. If your lifestyle is making you tired, the lesson may be to slow down. If your mind is always anxious, the lesson may be to practice stillness. If your heart feels empty, the lesson may be to return to what is meaningful. A bad day becomes dangerous only when you refuse to listen to what it is showing you. Sometimes your suffering is showing you that you need rest. Sometimes it is showing you that you have been ignoring yourself for too long. Sometimes it is showing you that you are attached to something that is no longer healthy. Sometimes it is showing you that you are living for approval instead of peace. Sometimes it is showing you that you need to change direction before life becomes heavier. This is why you should ask yourself, what is this bad day trying to teach me? Do not ask this question with anger, ask it with honesty. Maybe the lesson is that you need stronger boundaries. Maybe the lesson is that you should stop sharing your heart with people who do not value it. Maybe the lesson is that you should stop delaying your healing. Maybe the lesson is that you cannot control everything. Maybe the lesson is that you need to be more gentle with yourself. Sometimes the lesson will not appear immediately. When pain is fresh, it is hard to understand anything. At first you may only feel sadness, confusion, anger, or fear. That is okay. You do not have to force wisdom on the first day of suffering. Healing takes time. Understanding takes time. Some lessons only become clear after the storm has passed. But even then, keep your heart open enough to learn. Do not let pain close your mind forever. Think of a seed buried in the ground. From the outside, it looks like the seed is trapped in darkness. It is covered by soil. It cannot see the sun. It may look buried, but in truth, it is being prepared to grow. In the same way, some of your darkest days may feel like they are burying you, but if you stay patient and aware, they may become the place where a stronger version of you begins to rise. The bad day that made you cry may teach you compassion. The season that made you feel lost may teach you direction. The failure that embarrassed you may teach you discipline. The rejection that broke your heart may teach you self-respect. The loneliness that scared you may teach you inner strength. The ending that hurt you may create space for a better beginning. But none of this happens if you give up on yourself. You must let pain convince you that your life is finished. You must not let one painful season decide the meaning of your whole existence. You must not look at your hardest days and say, "This is all my life will ever be." No, those days may be part of your life, but they are not your whole life. There is a quiet strength in saying, "This hurt me, but I will not let it destroy me." There is wisdom in saying, "This changed me, but I will not let it make me cruel." There is courage in saying, "This broke my heart, but I will not close my heart forever." There is healing in saying, "This was painful, but I will learn from it and continue." Bad days often reveal what is hidden inside you. You may not know how strong you are until life gives you something heavy to carry. You may not know how patient you can be until healing takes longer than expected. You may not know how much peace matters until you lose it for a while. You may not know how deeply you want to live until a hard season makes you realize how precious every calm moment truly is. This is why your bad days should not be seen only as enemies. They are painful, but they can also become mirrors. They show you where you are attached. They show you where you are afraid. They show you where you need healing. They show you where you have been giving your power away. They show you what you must release in order to become peaceful. In Buddhism, letting go is not about pretending you do not care. It is about releasing what is harming your mind. Sometimes bad days teach you that you are holding too tightly to things that keep hurting you. You may be holding on to old regret, old anger, old people, old dreams, or old versions of yourself. And life may be showing you that peace cannot enter your hands while your hands are full of pain. Letting go does not always happen in one moment. Sometimes you release pain slowly. You let go one breath at a time, one thought at a time, one memory at a time, one day at a time. You may still remember what happened, but it no longer controls you the same way. You may still feel the scar, but the wound is no longer bleeding. This is healing. This is growth. This is how pain becomes wisdom. Do not let bad days make you hard in the wrong way. Some people think becoming strong means becoming cold, emotionless, and closed. But true strength is not losing your heart. True strength is keeping your heart alive while becoming wiser. It is learning to care without becoming attached to everything. It is learning to love without losing yourself. It is learning to forgive without accepting disrespect. It is learning to continue without carrying bitterness like a permanent home. Your bad days can teach you balance. They can teach you that you do not have to react to everything. You do not have to answer every insult. You do not have to chase every person. You do not have to prove your worth to everyone. You do not have to turn every disappointment into a war. Sometimes peace is found in stepping back, breathing deeply, and choosing not to give your mind to things that only create more suffering. This is one of the greatest lessons bad days can offer. Not everything deserves your energy. Some things need your attention, but not your obsession. Some people need your kindness, but not your access. Some memories need your acceptance, but not your daily suffering. Some problems need action, but not panic. When you learn this, you stop letting every painful moment control your whole inner world. A bad day may teach you that you need to slow down. Many people only stop when life forces them to stop. They ignore their body, ignore their emotions, ignore their mind, and keep pushing until they break. Then a bad day comes, and they finally realize they have been living too fast, carrying too much, and giving too little care to themselves. If this is your lesson, listen to it. Rest is not weakness. Rest is wisdom when your soul is tired. A bad day may teach you that your peace is your responsibility. You cannot always control what people do. You cannot always control how life moves. You cannot control every delay, every ending, every opinion, or every change. But you can slowly learn how to protect your inner world. You can choose what you consume, who you listen to, where you give your time, and how you speak to yourself. Peace is not something you wait for. Peace is something you practice. A bad day may teach you that you need to stop living only for the future. Many people suffer because they are always waiting for the next thing. They say, I will be happy when I achieve this. I will rest when I reach that. I will enjoy life later. Then a hard day comes and reminds them that life is happening now. Not tomorrow. Not after success. Not after everything is fixed. Now, this breath, this moment, this day. This is why you should not let bad days bury your ability to live. Even if today is hard, it can still teach you how precious life is. It can remind you to appreciate simple peace. It can remind you to call someone you love. It can remind you to stop delaying what matters. It can remind you that every day is not guaranteed, and because of that, every day deserves awareness. One day, when you look back, you may not remember every small problem that once made you anxious. You may not remember every negative thought that once felt so powerful. You may not remember every bad day in detail, but you may remember what those days taught you. You may remember that they taught you to become calmer. You may remember that they taught you to stop taking life for granted. You may remember that they taught you to choose peace over drama, wisdom over reaction, and healing over bitterness. So when a bad day comes, do not immediately say, my life is terrible. Say, this day is difficult, but it may still teach me something. Do not say I am finished. Say I am being shaped. Do not say, nothing good can come from this. Say, I cannot see the lesson yet, but I will not let this pain destroy my whole life. This is not easy. It takes practice. It takes patience. Some days you will remember this wisdom, and some days you will forget it. That is also part of being human. Buddhism is not about becoming perfect. It is about returning to awareness again and again. When you forget, return. When you fall, return. When your mind becomes dark, return. When pain becomes heavy, return. Return to your breath. Return to the present. Return to the truth that this bad day is not your whole life. Your bad days may have hurt you, but they also prove that you can survive. Every difficult day you have lived through is proof that something inside you did not give up. Even when you felt weak, you continued. Even when your mind was tired, you breathed through another moment. Even when life felt heavy, you remained here. That is not small. That is strength. Do not bury yourself in a chapter that was meant to teach you. Do not turn one painful season into your entire identity. Do not let the days that hurt you become the days that define you forever. You are allowed to learn, heal, and rise. You are allowed to become softer and wiser at the same time. You are allowed to carry the lesson without carrying the same pain forever. Let your bad days teach you patience. Let them teach you compassion. Let them teach you self-respect. Let them teach you mindfulness. Let them teach you what to release and what to protect. Let them teach you that peace is more important than pride. Let them teach you that life is too short to spend all of it trapped in yesterday's suffering. And most importantly, let them teach you that you still have a life to live. Your bad days were not your whole life. They were teachers on the path. Painful teachers, yes, but teachers. They showed you where you were wounded. They showed you where you needed wisdom. They showed you what mattered. They showed you what needed to change. And now, with awareness, you can take the lesson and keep walking. Do not let your pain bury your hope. Do not let your past bury your future. Do not let one storm bury the whole sky. Stand up slowly, breathe deeply. Take one gentle step forward. You do not have to be fully healed to continue. You do not have to understand everything to move forward. You only have to decide that your bad days will not be the end of your story, because your life is bigger than your pain. Your heart is bigger than one wound. Your future is bigger than one hard season. And even after everything you have been through, you are still here. That means there is still time to learn, still time to heal, still time to grow, and still time to live with peace. Let your bad days teach you, not bury you. Let them make you wiser, not colder. Let them make you stronger, not bitter. Let them make you more awake, not more afraid. And when life becomes difficult again, remember this truth. A bad day may visit you, but it does not own you. A painful season may shape you, but it does not have to define you. Your suffering may be part of your story, but it is not the whole story. You are still becoming. You are still healing. You are still alive. And because you are still alive, your story can still change. 8. Ending. Your bad days were never your whole life. If there is one truth you should carry in your heart after listening to this, let it be this. Your bad days were never your whole life. They were painful moments, difficult seasons, heavy chapters, and emotional storms. But they were not the complete story of your existence. They may have hurt you deeply, but they did not erase every good thing. They may have changed you, but they did not destroy the possibility of peace. They may have made you tired, but they did not take away your ability to begin again. Many people make the mistake of looking at their life through the eyes of pain. When they are sad, they believe life has always been sad. When they are rejected, they believe they have always been unwanted. When they fail, they believe they have always been a failure. When one door closes, they believe every door in life has closed. But this is not truth. This is the mind speaking from a wounded place. Pain can make one moment feel like forever, but no moment is forever. In Buddhism, we are reminded again and again that everything changes. This is not just a spiritual idea. It is something you can see in life every day. Morning becomes evening. Winter becomes spring. A child becomes an adult. A wound slowly becomes a scar. Tears dry. The heart learns. The mind becomes calmer. Even the heaviest emotions shift when you stop feeding them with fear and hopelessness. Your sadness is not permanent. Your confusion is not permanent. Your loneliness is not permanent. Your tiredness is not permanent. Even the version of you who feels lost right now is not permanent. You are always changing, even when you do not notice it. Every day, something inside you is learning. Every breath is carrying you forward. Every hard moment you survive is proof that your story is still moving. A bad day can make you forget this. It can make you feel like nothing will ever get better. It can make you think that life is only suffering. People only hurt you, and peace is too far away. But bad days do not show you the whole picture. They show you only the pain you are feeling in that moment. They are like dark clouds covering the sky. The clouds may hide the sun, but they do not remove the sun. In the same way, pain may hide the beauty of life for a while, but it does not remove the beauty completely. You must learn to speak to yourself with wisdom during hard days. Do not say, "My life is finished." Say, "This moment is painful, but it is not the end." Do not say, "I will never be happy again." Say, "My heart is hurting today, but healing is still possible." Do not say, "Nothing good ever happens to me." Say, "Right now, I am only seeing life through pain." The way you speak to yourself matters because your mind listens. Your heart listens. Your future listens. There will be days when you feel strong, and there will be days when you feel weak. There will be mornings when you wake up with hope, and there will be nights when your heart feels heavy. This is part of being human. Buddhism does not ask you to become emotionless. It does not ask you to stop feeling pain. It teaches you not to become trapped by every feeling that passes through you. You can feel sadness without becoming sadness. You can feel fear without becoming fear. You can feel disappointment without becoming disappointment. You can have a bad day without becoming a bad life. This is the difference between awareness and suffering. Awareness says, "This feeling is here." Suffering says, "This feeling is all I am." Awareness gives you space. Suffering closes the door. So when life becomes heavy, return to awareness. Return to your breath. Return to the present moment. Return to the truth that you are still here. You do not have to solve your whole life in one day. You do not have to heal every wound in one night. You do not have to understand every lesson immediately. Sometimes, you only need to breathe through the moment and remind yourself that this too will change. Think about everything you have already survived. There were days in your past when you thought you could not continue, but you did. There were problems that once felt impossible, but somehow you moved through them. There were moments that broke your heart, but your heart kept beating. There were nights when your mind was tired, but morning still came. You are living proof that pain does not always have the final word. Do not ignore that strength. Do not look only at your wounds and forget your survival. You may not feel powerful every day, but there is quiet strength inside you. It is the strength that kept you breathing when life was heavy. It is the strength that helped you stand after disappointment. It is the strength that allowed you to continue, even when no one knew what you were carrying. That strength matters. Your bad days may have taught you painful lessons, but they also showed you something important. They showed you what you can survive. They showed you what needs healing. They showed you what truly matters. They showed you which people bring peace and which people bring pain. They showed you the value of stillness, self-respect, patience, and inner strength. They showed you that you cannot depend on the outside world for all of your peace. This is one of the deepest lessons in Buddhism. Peace does not come only from perfect situations. Peace comes from training the mind. If your peace depends only on life being easy, then your peace will always be fragile. But when you slowly learn to observe your thoughts, accept change, let go of what you cannot control, and return to the present moment, your peace becomes stronger. It does not mean you never suffer. It means suffering no longer owns your whole life. You must also remember that healing does not always feel beautiful. Sometimes healing feels slow. Sometimes healing feels boring. Sometimes healing feels like waking up and choosing not to give up. Sometimes healing means taking a shower when you feel tired. Sometimes it means eating properly, resting your body, walking outside, cleaning your space, or saying no to things that disturb your mind. Sometimes healing is not dramatic. Sometimes it is quiet discipline. Do not underestimate these small steps. A peaceful life is built through small choices. One calm breath, one wise thought, one gentle decision, one moment of patience, one act of self-care. One time you choose not to react. One time you choose not to return to what hurts you. These small moments may look simple, but they slowly change the direction of your life. Bad days want you to believe that nothing matters. Wisdom tells you that small things matter deeply. One peaceful morning matters. One kind word matters. One moment of gratitude matters. One honest conversation matters. One decision to continue matters. One day of not giving up matters. These small things keep your heart alive. Do not wait until your life is perfect before you allow yourself to live. Do not wait until every problem disappears before you smile. Do not wait until your heart is fully healed before you appreciate the present. You are allowed to live while you are healing. You are allowed to feel peace for a moment, even if you still have problems. You are allowed to enjoy small blessings without feeling guilty. Your life does not have to be perfect to be precious. One of the saddest things would be to reach the end of life and realize that you spent too much time worshipping your pain. You are alive, but you are always waiting. Waiting for life to become easier, waiting for people to change, waiting for the past to disappear, waiting for perfect peace before you allowed yourself to feel grateful. But while you waited, life was passing. The mornings were passing, the seasons were passing. The chances to love, learn, rest, and grow were passing. Do not let that happen to you. Do not let bad days steal all the days that still have beauty in them. Do not let one painful chapter make you close the whole book. Do not let a few dark memories make you blind to the light that still exists. Life is not only what hurt you. Life is also what healed you, what taught you, what softened you, what strengthened you, and what still waits for you. You may have lost something, but you have not lost everything. You may have been hurt by someone, but not everyone is here to hurt you. You may have failed at something, but you are not a failure. You may feel tired today, but you are not finished. You may not know what comes next, but the next chapter can still be written with wisdom. This is why you must not identify yourself with your worst days. Do not say, "I am broken." Say, "I am healing." Do not say, "I am lost." Say, "I am learning the way back to myself." Do not say, "My life is only pain." Say, "Pain has visited me, but it does not own me." These words may seem simple, but they create space inside the heart. They remind you that you are more than what happened to you. In Buddhism, letting go is very important. But letting go does not mean forgetting everything. It does not mean pretending the past never hurt you. It means releasing the grip that pain has on your present life. It means you stop carrying the same wound into every new day. It means you stop punishing yourself for what already happened. It means you stop giving old pain the power to control new possibilities. You can remember the lesson without living inside the wound. You can keep the wisdom without keeping the bitterness. You can honor what you survived without making it your whole identity. This is real freedom. Not freedom from having a past, but freedom from being controlled by the past. Some people think peace means life will never hurt again, but peace is deeper than that. Peace means that when life hurts, you know how to come back to yourself. Peace means you know how to breathe instead of panic. Peace means you know how to observe your thoughts instead of believing every dark story. Peace means you know that one bad day does not define your entire life. You will still have difficult days. Everyone does. There will still be moments when you feel misunderstood, tired, lonely, or uncertain. But after learning these lessons, you do not have to face those days the same way. You can face them with more awareness. You can say, "This is a bad day, not a bad life." You can say, "This feeling is temporary." You can say, "I do not have to believe every thought my pain creates." You can say, "I can learn from this without being buried by it." This is how wisdom changes suffering. It does not always remove the pain immediately, but it changes your relationship with the pain. Instead of drowning in it, you begin to observe it. Instead of becoming bitter, you begin to understand. Instead of giving up, you begin to take one small step. Instead of calling your whole life broken, you begin to see that this is only one part of the journey, and that one shift can save your life. Because many people are not destroyed by bad days themselves. They are destroyed by the meaning they give to those bad days. They say, because today is painful, tomorrow will also be painful. They say, because one person hurt me, everyone will hurt me. They say, because I failed once, I am a failure forever. But these meanings are not truth. They are wounds speaking. You have the power to give your pain a wiser meaning. You can say, this pain is teaching me. You can say, this season is shaping me. You can say, this ending is making space for something new. You can say, this difficulty is reminding me to return to what matters. When you change the meaning, you change the direction of your healing. Your life is not meant to be measured only by your hardest days. Your life is also measured by your courage, your kindness, your patience, your growth, your quiet strength, and your ability to begin again. It is measured by the moments you chose peace when anger was easier. It is measured by the times you kept going when giving up felt tempting. It is measured by the small ways you protected your heart from becoming cold. So do not let bad days make you forget how to live. Do not forget to breathe deeply. Do not forget to look at the sky. Do not forget to take care of your body. Do not forget to speak gently to yourself. Do not forget to rest. Do not forget to appreciate the people who truly care. Do not forget that life is still happening, even while you are healing. There is still beauty in this world. There is still peace available to you. There is still wisdom to learn. There are still moments that can soften your heart. There are still mornings that can feel lighter. There are still days ahead that may surprise you. Your pain may tell you that nothing good is coming, but pain does not know the whole future. You do not know how life can change. You do not know who you may become after healing. You do not know what peace may feel like after you stop carrying what was never yours to carry. You do not know what new strength may rise inside you. This is why you must not let one dark season decide the rest of your story. Keep walking, even if slowly. Keep breathing, even if your heart feels heavy. Keep learning, even if the lesson is painful. Keep returning to the present, even if your mind runs back to the past. Keep choosing awareness, even when your emotions are loud. Keep reminding yourself that everything changes. One day, the pain that feels so heavy now may become the wisdom you speak from. One day, the season that almost broke you may become the reason you understand yourself more deeply. One day, the bad days you thought were the end may become the beginning of a more peaceful version of your life. You may not see it now, but healing often begins quietly, long before you feel fully healed. So be patient with yourself. Do not rush your heart. Do not judge yourself for needing time. Do not compare your healing to someone else's healing. Everyone carries different pain. Everyone grows at a different pace. A flower does not bloom faster because someone shouts at it. In the same way, your soul will not heal faster through self-hatred. It heals through patience, awareness, kindness, and time. When bad days come again, because sometimes they will, remember what you have learned. Bad days are visitors, not your permanent home. Pain can make you blind, so look for small blessings. Thoughts created by pain are not always truth. Your suffering is real, but it is not your whole identity. Return to the present before your mind destroys your peace. Do not wait for a perfect life before you start living. And let your bad days teach you, not bury you. These lessons are not just words. They are reminders for the moments when life feels heavy. They are small lights for dark days. They are anchors for the mind when emotions become strong. Keep them close. Return to them when you forget. Let them guide you back to yourself, because you are not here only to suffer. You are not here only to survive bad days. You are here to awaken, to learn, to love, to grow, to breathe, to notice, to heal, and to live with more wisdom than before. Your life is not perfect, but it is still sacred. Your heart is not untouched, but it is still capable of peace. Your story is not finished, and that means hope is still allowed. Do not die thinking your bad days were your whole life. Do not reach the end and realize that you gave too much power to temporary pain. Do not let a few hard seasons make you forget the gift of being alive. You still have this breath. You still have this moment. You still have the chance to begin again, even if the beginning is small. Take that chance. Begin again with one breath. Begin again with one gentle thought. Begin again by forgiving yourself for the days you felt weak. Begin again by choosing not to call your whole life terrible just because today is difficult. Begin again by opening your heart, even slightly, to the possibility that better days can come. Your bad days were not your whole life. They were only part of the path. They may have been painful, but they were not the end. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still learning. You are still becoming. And as long as you are still alive, life can still surprise you with peace. So live gently, live wisely, live with awareness. Do not let pain make you forget the sky, the breath, the small blessings, the quiet strength inside you, and the truth that everything changes. Your story is bigger than your suffering. Your life is bigger than your bad days. And your heart, even after everything, still has the power to heal. 9. Final reflection. Begin again even after the worst days. There comes a moment in life when you must stop looking at your pain as the end of your story. You must stop believing that the days that broke you are the only days that matter. You must stop carrying every painful memory like proof that your life will never become peaceful again. Because the truth is, your worst days may have hurt you deeply, but they did not remove your ability to begin again. Beginning again does not always look powerful from the outside. Sometimes beginning again is not a big decision, a loud announcement, or a dramatic change. Sometimes beginning again is very quiet. It is waking up after a painful night and choosing to breathe calmly. It is washing your face even when your heart feels heavy. It is eating something simple when you have lost your energy. It is cleaning your space, taking a small walk, sitting in silence, or telling yourself, I am still here and I will not give up on my life. In Buddhism, every moment is a chance to return. You do not have to wait for a perfect day to return to peace. You do not have to wait until your mind is completely calm. You do not have to wait until your heart is fully healed. You can return right now with one breath, one small choice, and one gentle act of awareness. This is the beauty of life. Even after many mistakes, many tears, and many difficult days, the present moment still opens its door to you. Many people stay trapped because they believe they must become a completely new person overnight. They think healing means suddenly feeling happy, confident, strong, and peaceful all the time. But healing is not like that. Healing is slower, softer, and more honest. Healing is the practice of returning to yourself again and again. You may fall back into sadness, but you return. You may feel fear again, but you return. You may have a bad day again, but you return. Every time you return, you are strengthening your spirit. Do not hate yourself for the days when you feel weak. Do not judge yourself for needing time. Do not call yourself a failure because healing is taking longer than you expected. A wounded heart cannot be forced to become whole in one night. A tired mind cannot be bullied into peace. A broken season cannot be rushed into wisdom. Everything in life has its own timing. The flower does not bloom because someone shouts at it. It blooms when the conditions are right. In the same way, your healing needs patience. It needs kindness. It needs awareness. It needs space. If you keep attacking yourself while you are already in pain, you only make the pain heavier. If you keep saying, why am I still like this? Why am I not better yet? Why am I so weak? You are adding another wound on top of the wound you already carry. Buddhism teaches compassion, and that compassion must also include yourself. Be gentle with the version of you that survived the bad days. That version of you may not have been perfect, but they kept going. They may have cried. They may have made mistakes. They may have felt lost, tired, angry, or afraid. But they survived. They carried you here. Do not insult the version of you that was only trying to survive with the strength they had at that time. Sometimes you look back and blame yourself for not knowing better. You say, I should have been stronger. I should have left earlier. I should have spoken differently. I should have understood sooner. But you must remember this. You were learning. You were growing through pain. You were making choices with the awareness you had at that moment. Now you see more clearly because life taught you more. Do not punish your past self with the wisdom your present self only gained after suffering. This is an important Buddhist lesson. Awareness grows through experience. Wisdom is not born in comfort alone. Sometimes this wisdom is born from confusion, loss, disappointment, and mistakes. The point is not to live without ever falling. The point is to wake up after falling. The point is to learn without becoming bitter. The point is to continue without carrying hatred toward yourself. Your bad days may have left marks on you, but they also gave you awareness. Now you know what drains your peace. Now you know which thoughts make you suffer more. Now you know that not every person deserves access to your heart. Now you know that your mind can create stories that are not always true. Now you know that life can change quickly, so small blessings should not be ignored. This knowledge matters. You are not the same person you were before your bad days. And maybe that is not entirely a bad thing. Maybe you are softer in some places and stronger in others. Maybe you are more careful with your energy. Maybe you are more honest about what you need. Maybe you have learned to value peace more than attention. Maybe you have learned that not everything deserves a reaction. Maybe you have learned that silence can protect your healing. Bad days can teach you to stop wasting life on things that do not matter. Before pain, many people chase approval. They worry too much about what others think. They try to please everyone. They stay in unnecessary arguments. They spend their energy proving their worth to people who are not even paying attention. But after suffering, if you learn from it, you begin to understand that peace is more valuable than being understood by everyone. You begin to choose your battles wisely. You begin to protect your mind. You begin to walk away from things that disturb your inner world. You begin to understand that life is short, and you do not want to spend it trapped in bitterness, overthinking, and regret. This is not weakness, this is maturity. This is wisdom growing from pain. But you must be careful. Pain can make you wise, but it can also make you cold if you are not aware. Some people go through bad days and decide never to trust, never to love, never to hope, never to try again. They think they are protecting themselves, but they are actually building a prison. A heart that closes completely may avoid some pain, but it also blocks peace, love, joy, and connection. Buddhism does not teach you to become cold. It teaches you to become conscious. There is a difference. Being cold means you shut down because you are afraid. Being conscious means you stay open, but with wisdom. You can be kind without being naive. You can forgive without allowing disrespect. You can love without losing yourself. You can trust slowly without giving your whole peace away. You can continue living without pretending that nothing ever hurt you. This is how you begin again in a wiser way. You do not return to life as the same person who ignored red flags, abandoned yourself, or believed every painful thought. You return with awareness, you return with boundaries, you return with patience. You return with a deeper understanding of yourself. You return knowing that your peace is sacred and your time is limited. When you begin again, do not try to rebuild your whole life in one day. Start with your mind. Start with the way you speak to yourself. When you wake up, do not immediately attack yourself with worry. Do not begin the day by replaying yesterday's pain. Take one breath and say, "This is a new moment." It may not be a perfect moment, but it is new. It is not yesterday. It is not the memory that hurt you. It is not the fear your mind is creating. It is this moment, and in this moment, you can choose one gentle step. Then start with your body. Your body carries stress, sadness, fear, and exhaustion. Treat it with kindness. Drink water. Rest when you need rest. Move gently. Breathe deeply. Do not treat your body like an enemy just because your mind is suffering. Your body is the home you live in. Take care of it, especially on bad days. Sometimes a calm body can help calm the mind. Then, start with your environment. A messy space can make a tired mind feel even heavier. You do not have to fix everything. Just clean one small area. Open a window. Let light enter. Remove one thing that creates stress. Create one small corner of peace. These simple actions tell your mind, "I am not powerless. I can still care for my life." Then start with your thoughts. Do not believe every dark thought your pain creates. When a painful thought appears, pause. Ask yourself, is this truth or is this my pain speaking? This question can protect you. Your mind may say, Nothing will ever change. But Buddhism reminds you that everything changes. Your mind may say, I am broken forever. But awareness reminds you that healing is possible. Your mind may say, my life is only suffering. But wisdom reminds you that suffering is part of life, not the whole of life. Then start with your heart. Your heart may be tired, but it is not dead. It may be wounded, but it is not empty. Give it softness. Give it time. Give it silence. Do not force yourself to feel happy immediately. Just allow yourself to feel honestly without drowning completely. You can say, I am hurting today, but I am still here. You can say, I do not feel peaceful yet, but I am willing to return to peace slowly. You can say, I have had bad days, but I will not let them become my whole life. This is what beginning again looks like. It is simple, but it is powerful. It is not about becoming perfect. It is about refusing to abandon yourself. It is about choosing one small act of life after pain tried to convince you that nothing matters. It is about remembering that you still have breath, and where there is breath, there is still possibility. Many people think transformation happens only through big events, but real transformation often happens in small private moments. It happens when you decide not to send that angry message. It happens when you choose silence instead of drama. It happens when you rest instead of punishing yourself. It happens when you showing people who do not value you. It happens when you forgive yourself for not being perfect. It happens when you choose peace one more time. These small choices slowly create a new life. You may not notice the change immediately, but it is happening. One calm choice becomes two. One peaceful morning becomes another. One moment of awareness becomes a habit. One day of not giving up becomes a stronger spirit. This is how you rebuild after bad days, not all at once, but step by step. Do not be discouraged if some days still feel heavy. Healing does not mean every day becomes easy. Healing means you stop letting hard days completely control you. You may still feel sadness, but you do not call your whole life sad. You may still feel fear, but you do not let fear make every decision. You may still remember the past, but you do not live there every day. You may still have bad days, but you no longer forget how to live. This is the real victory. Not that you never struggle again, but that struggle no longer owns your whole identity. Not that you never cry again, but that tears no longer convince you that your life is over. Not that every day becomes perfect, but that you learn how to find peace inside imperfect days. This is a quiet victory, but it is one of the most powerful victories a person can have. Buddhism teaches that the mind can be trained. This means your mind does not have to remain a prison forever. If your mind learned fear, it can slowly learn peace. If your mind learned overthinking, it can slowly learn stillness. If your mind learned hopelessness, it can slowly learn trust again. Training the mind takes time, but every moment of awareness is part of that training. You train your mind when you return to the breath instead of following every fearful thought. You train your mind when you notice sadness without becoming completely lost in sadness. You train your mind when you choose compassion instead of self-hatred. You train your mind when you say, this is a bad day, not a bad life. Every time you do this, you weaken the power of suffering and strengthen the power of awareness. This is why you must keep returning. Return after failure, return after heartbreak, return after disappointment, return after fear, return after anger, return after days when you forget everything you learned. Returning is the path. You do not have to walk perfectly. You only have to keep coming back to awareness. There may be people who do not understand your healing. They may expect you to move on quickly. They may tell you to stop feeling so much. They may not see the battles you are fighting inside. But your healing is not for them to measure. Your journey is your own. You do not need to explain every wound to people who are not willing to understand your pain. Heal quietly if you must. Grow silently if you must. Protect your peace without needing everyone's permission. A bad day becomes even heavier when you give your mind to people who do not care for your spirit. Be careful where you place your energy. Not every voice deserves access to your heart. Not every opinion deserves space in your mind. Not every person deserves the power to disturb your peace. Choose your environment carefully, because healing needs protection. Sometimes beginning again means walking away from what keeps reopening the wound. It means not returning to old habits, old conversations, old places, or old attachments that keep you stuck in suffering. Letting go may hurt at first, but holding on to what destroys you hurts longer. Buddhism teaches that attachment creates suffering, and sometimes your peace begins when you finally loosen your grip. Let go of the need to understand everything. Some things happened, and they hurt. You may never get the apology, the explanation, or the closure you wanted, but you can still heal. Closure is not always something another person gives you. Sometimes closure is the moment you decide that your peace matters more than replaying the same pain forever. Let go of the need to be the old version of yourself. Maybe that version was more trusting, more innocent, more open, or more hopeful. It is okay to miss who you were, but do not believe that your future is ruined because you changed. You can become a new version of yourself, a wiser version, a calmer version, a version that still loves life but no longer gives power to everything that hurts. Let go of the belief that bad days make you weak. Bad days are part of life. Feeling pain does not make you weak. Crying does not make you weak. Needing time does not make you weak. What matters is that you do not allow pain turn into permanent hopelessness. What matters is that you keep choosing life in small ways, and let go of the idea that healing must look impressive. Healing may look ordinary. It may look like going to sleep earlier. It may look like drinking water instead of drowning in worry. It may look like unfollowing something that disturbs your mind. It may look like spending a few minutes in silence. It may look like saying, "I cannot control everything, but I can take care of this moment." These ordinary actions are sacred because they bring you back to life. One day, you may realize that you did not need life to become perfect in order to feel peace. You only needed to stop fighting every moment. You only needed to stop turning every thought into truth. You only needed to stop calling every painful season your whole life. You only needed to return to the present, again, until your heart slowly remembered how to live. Your bad days may have taken your energy, but they did not take your future. They may have taken your confidence for a while, but they did not take your worth. They may have taken your smile for a season, but they did not take your ability to feel joy again. They may have taken something from you, but they also left you with lessons, strength, and a deeper understanding of life. So begin again, not because life is easy, but because life is still yours. Begin again because this breath is still here. Begin again because your story is not finished. Begin again because the pain you feel today is not permanent. Begin again because you deserve to experience more than suffering. Begin again because somewhere ahead, there may be a peaceful version of you who is grateful that you did not give up. That future version of you is waiting, the version who wakes up lighter, the version who no longer cries over the same wound. The version who understands why certain things had to end. The version who protects peace without guilt. The version who smiles again, not because life became perfect, but because the heart learned how to live again. Move toward that version slowly. You do not have to rush. Just do not stop. Take one small step, then another. Some days your step may be strong. Some days your step may be weak. Some days your step may simply be choosing not to fall back into old suffering. That still counts. Every gentle step toward peace counts. Remember, you are not starting from nothing. You are starting from experience. You are starting from lessons. You are starting from survival. You are starting from the wisdom your bad days gave you. You may feel tired, but you are not empty. You carry proof that you can endure. You carry proof that life can change. You carry proof that you can survive moments you once thought would break you. So when your mind tries to say, "I cannot begin again," answer with awareness. Say, "I do not have to begin perfectly. I only have to begin gently." When your pain says, "Stay here," answer with wisdom. Say, "I have learned from this place, but I do not have to live here forever." When your fear says, "Nothing will change," answer with truth. Say, "Everything changes and I am changing too." This is how you reclaim your life, not by denying the bad days, but by refusing to let them define all your days. Not by pretending pain did not happen, but by deciding that pain will not be the only thing that happens. Not by forcing happiness, but by opening the door to peace, one breath at a time. Do not die believing your bad days were your whole life. Do not grow old thinking the painful chapters were the only chapters that mattered. Do not spend the rest of your journey staring at the storm and forgetting the sky. You are more than what hurt you. You are more than what ended. You are more than what failed. You are more than what you lost. You are a living being, still breathing, still learning, still becoming. And as long as you are still becoming, your story can still change. So begin again after the worst days. Begin again after the tears. Begin again after the disappointment. Begin again after the silence. Begin again after the loss. Begin again after the night that felt too heavy. Begin again after the season that made you forget your own light. Begin again not loudly but sincerely. Begin again with awareness. Begin again with patience. Begin again with the understanding that life is not asking you to be perfect. It is only asking you to be present. Your bad days were real, but they were never the whole truth. The whole truth is that you suffered, but you survived. You broke, but you continued. You lost, but you learned. You cried, but you kept breathing. You fell, but you are still capable of rising. And now, with every breath, life is giving you another quiet invitation. Come back. Come back to peace. Come back to yourself. Come back to the present moment. Come back to life. Because your bad days were never your whole life. And the life still ahead of you deserves to be lived with wisdom, softness, courage, and hope. 10. Closing message. Do not let one bad season steal the rest of your life. There is a deep pain in looking at your whole life through one bad season. It is like standing in the middle of a storm and believing that the whole world has always been stormy. It is like sitting in a dark room and forgetting that outside the sun still rises. Many people do this without realizing it. They go through one painful chapter, one difficult year, one heartbreak, one failure, or one season of loneliness, and they start believing that their entire life is only suffering. But your life is not only the season that hurt you. Your life is not only the people who left. Your life is not only the mistake you made. Your life is not only the days when you felt weak, tired, or lost. Your life is much bigger than that. It is bigger than the pain you remember. It is bigger than the disappointment you carry. It is bigger than the fear your mind creates when you are exhausted. In Buddhism, we are reminded that clinging creates suffering. Sometimes people cling not only to people, places, or desires. Sometimes they cling to pain. They hold their bad days tightly in their mind. They repeat old memories again and again. They keep asking why something happened, why someone changed, why life became hard, why they were treated unfairly, and why peace feels so far away. These questions may be natural, but if you live inside them forever, they can become a prison. A bad season can visit you, but you must not let it become your whole home. A painful memory can teach you, but you must not let it become your whole identity. A difficult chapter can shape you, but you must not let it write the rest of your story without your permission. You are still here, and because you are still here, you still have the power to choose how you continue. This does not mean you pretend nothing happened. It does not mean you ignore your sadness. It does not mean you force yourself to be happy when your heart is tired. Buddhism does not teach fake peace. It teaches clear seeing. Clear seeing means you can look at your pain honestly and say, yes, this hurt me. But you can also look at life honestly and say, this is not all there is. That second sentence matters. This is not all there is. Your pain is real, but it is not the whole of life. Your bad days happened, but they are not the full truth of your journey. Your heart may be heavy today, but heaviness is not permanent. Your mind may be confused today, but confusion can clear. Your energy may be low today, but strength can return slowly. Everything changes. This is one of the greatest truths Buddhism gives us. When you are inside pain, it feels permanent. A lonely night feels like endless loneliness. A failure feels like permanent failure. A rejection feels like proof that nobody will ever care. But these feelings are not final truths. They are temporary experiences. They are waves passing through the mind and body. If you hold them too tightly, you suffer more. If you observe them gently, they begin to move. Think about a river. The river does not hold one wave and call it the whole river. It keeps flowing. In the same way, you must not hold one bad season and call it your whole life. You are not meant to become frozen in one painful moment. You are meant to flow, learn, heal, and continue. There may be days when you feel like you are not moving forward. There may be days when the past feels close again. There may be days when old sadness returns, and you wonder if you are healing at all. But healing is not always a straight road. Sometimes healing moves forward, then pauses, then moves again. Sometimes you feel peaceful for a while, then one memory comes back and makes you feel heavy. This does not mean you failed. It only means you are human. Do not judge your healing by one difficult day. Do not say, "I am back to the beginning," just because one bad feeling returned. You are not back to the beginning. You are meeting an old feeling with a little more awareness than before. That is growth. You are facing the same pain with a deeper understanding. That is progress. You are still choosing to continue. That is strength. Many people think they must feel strong every day in order to be strong. But real strength is not feeling powerful all the time. Real strength is continuing with wisdom, even when you feel tired. Real strength is not pretending pain does not exist. Real strength is saying, "This hurts, but I will not let it destroy my whole life." Real strength is taking one small step when your mind wants you to stop completely. Buddhism teaches that the mind is trainable. This means the mind that is used to worry can slowly learn calmness. The mind that is used to regret can slowly learn acceptance. The mind that is used to fear can slowly learn trust. The mind that is used to clinging can slowly learn letting go. But this training takes practice. It takes patience. It takes returning again and again. You train your mind every time you notice a painful thought and do not immediately believe it. You train your mind every time you take a breath before reacting. You train your mind every time you choose silence instead of unnecessary conflict. You train your mind every time you return to the present moment instead of drowning in the past. These small moments may look ordinary, but they slowly change your inner world. Your bad season may have trained your mind to expect pain. Now you must gently train it to notice peace again. Not fake peace, not forced happiness, real peace, simple peace, the peace of breathing slowly, the peace of accepting what you cannot change, the peace of taking care of yourself, the peace of letting go of what keeps reopening your wound, the peace of knowing that you do not have to carry everything at once. Sometimes, the hardest part of healing is giving yourself permission to live again. You may feel guilty for smiling. You may feel guilty for resting. You may feel guilty for enjoying a small moment while life is still imperfect. But you must understand this clearly. Enjoying one peaceful moment does not mean your pain was not real. Smiling again does not mean you forgot what happened. Resting does not mean you stopped caring. It means you are allowing your heart to breathe. Do not let pain convince you that you must suffer every second in order to prove that your pain mattered. Your pain already mattered. You do not need to keep bleeding emotionally to prove it was real. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to laugh again. You are allowed to feel light again. You are allowed to build a new life without apologizing to the past. One bad season may have taken your confidence, but it does not have to take your future. One failure may have embarrassed you, but it does not have to stop your growth. One heartbreak may have wounded you, but it does not have to close your heart forever. One lonely chapter may have made you feel forgotten, but it does not mean life has abandoned you. There are still moments ahead that you have not experienced. There are still lessons that can make you wiser. There are still peaceful mornings that can calm your spirit. There are still people who may understand you better than the ones who hurt you. There are still versions of yourself that are waiting to be born. Do not let one bad season convince you that nothing good remains. When life hurts, your mind may say, "Stay here." Keep thinking about it. Keep replaying it. Keep proving that life is unfair. But wisdom says, learn from it and keep walking. Wisdom does not deny pain, but wisdom refuses to build a permanent home inside pain. Wisdom knows that if you stay too long in yesterday's suffering, you miss today's chance to heal. Every day gives you a small chance to return to life, not always in a big way. Sometimes the chance is tiny. It may be a chance to breathe with awareness, a chance to speak kindly to yourself, a chance to not react in anger, a chance to leave the past alone for a few minutes, a chance to notice something beautiful, a chance to take care of your body, a chance to remember that you are still alive. These small chances are sacred. Do not ignore them. A life is not rebuilt only through big changes. It is rebuilt through small returns. Returning to your breath, returning to your values, returning to your peace, returning to your body, returning to your purpose, returning to the present moment again and again you return. This is why you must not wait for the perfect time to begin living again. The perfect time may never come. Your heart may not feel fully ready. Your mind may not feel fully calm. Your life may not look exactly how you wanted it to look, but you can still begin gently. You can still choose one peaceful action. You can still make one wise decision. You can still stop giving your whole energy to the season that hurt you. Sometimes beginning again means forgiving yourself, not because you did everything perfectly, but because you are human. Maybe you stayed too long in a situation that hurt you. Maybe you trusted someone who did not deserve it. Maybe you ignored your own needs. Maybe you made mistakes because you were afraid, lonely, confused, or desperate for love. You can learn from those mistakes without hating yourself forever. Self-hatred does not heal you. It only keeps you tied to the wound. Compassion helps you stand again. In Buddhism, compassion is not only something you give to others. It is something you must also give to yourself. Speak to yourself like someone you are trying to save, not someone you are trying to punish. Say to yourself, I did not know then what I know now. Say, I was learning. Say, I can do better without hating who I was. Say, I am allowed to grow beyond my mistakes. These words are simple, but they can soften the heart. And sometimes a softened heart is the beginning of deep healing. One bad season may have made you lose trust in life, but slowly, you can rebuild that trust. Not by believing that life will never hurt again, but by understanding that you can meet life with more wisdom. You can learn to trust your ability to handle change. You can trust your ability to return to peace. You can trust your ability to walk away from what harms you. You can trust your ability to begin again after disappointment. This kind of trust is stronger than blind hope. Blind hope says nothing bad will happen. Wisdom says even if difficult things happen, I can meet them with awareness. Blind hope depends on life being easy. Wisdom grows even when life is hard. This is the kind of strength Buddhism points toward. Do not measure your life only by comfort. A meaningful life is not always a comfortable life. Sometimes the meaningful parts are the lessons, the growth, the compassion, the inner strength, and the deep peace that comes after you stop fighting reality. You may not choose every pain that comes into your life, but you can choose not to let pain turn you into someone who forgets how to live. The world needs people who have suffered and still choose kindness. It needs people who have been hurt and still choose wisdom. It needs people who have seen dark days and still protect light inside themselves. Do not let bad days make you cruel. Do not let disappointment make you bitter. Do not let pain take away the softness that makes human. Softness is not weakness. A soft heart that has learned wisdom is powerful. It can care without losing itself. It can forgive without returning to harm. It can love without clinging. It can rest without guilt. It can move forward without needing revenge. This kind of heart is not easily destroyed because it has learned how to bend without breaking. If your life feels heavy right now, do not ask yourself to fix everything today. Just ask yourself to not give up today. Ask yourself to take one mindful breath. Ask yourself to do one small thing that supports your peace. Ask yourself to step away from one thought that hurts you. Ask yourself to remember that this bad day is not your entire life. Sometimes survival is enough for today. Sometimes rest is enough. Sometimes silence is enough. Sometimes not reacting is enough. Sometimes simply staying present is enough. Do not make healing harder by demanding perfection from yourself. You are not a machine. You are a human being moving through life, learning how to suffer less and live more wisely. There is no shame in starting small. A small beginning is still a beginning. A small breath of peace is still peace. A small act of courage is still courage. A small step away from pain is still progress. The mind may tell you that small things do not matter, but they do. Small drops fill a river. Small choices build a life. Small moments of awareness create a calmer mind. One day you may look back at this season and understand it differently. Right now, it may look like loss. Later it may look like awakening. Right now it may feel like rejection. Later it may look like protection. Right now it may feel like an ending. Later it may become the beginning of a more honest life. You cannot always understand the meaning of a season while you are inside it. Sometimes wisdom arrives after the storm has passed. Until then, keep walking, keep breathing, keep returning to yourself. Keep choosing not to let pain become your whole identity. Keep remembering that everything changes. Keep holding on to the truth that you are more than one chapter. Your life is not over because today is hard. Your future is not gone because the past was painful. Your heart is not useless because it has been wounded. Your peace is not impossible because your mind is tired. You are still alive, and life can still move in ways you cannot see yet. So do not let one bad season steal the rest of your life. Do not let it steal your smile forever. Do not let it steal your hope forever. Do not let it steal your kindness forever. Do not let it steal your ability to trust yourself. Do not let it steal your relationship with the present moment. Take back your life slowly. Take it back through awareness. Take it back through patience. Take it back through self-respect. Take it back through letting go. Take it back through small, peaceful choices. Take it back through the simple decision to keep living even while you are healing. Bad days may come again, but now you can meet them differently. You can say, I know you are here, but you are not my home. You can say, I feel this pain, but I will not become this pain. You can say, this season is hard, but it will not own the rest of my life. You can say, I have survived before, and I can move through this too. That is not fake positivity. That is wisdom. That is the quiet strength of a mind that is learning not to be controlled by every storm. That is the courage of a heart that has suffered but still chooses to live. And when the final day of your life comes, may you not look back and see a life surrendered to temporary pain. May you not realize too late that bad days were only visitors, but you treated them like permanent masters. May you not discover at the end that there were so many small blessings you ignored, because your mind was trapped in old suffering. Instead, may you look back and say, yes, I had hard days, but I kept living. Yes, I suffered, but I learned. Yes, I was hurt, but I did not let pain take my whole heart. Yes, life was imperfect, but I still found moments of peace. Yes, there were storms, but I did not forget the sky. That is a life lived with awareness. That is a life touched by wisdom. That is a life that bad days could not destroy. So breathe deeply. Let this moment remind you that you are still here. Let this breath remind you that your story is still moving. Let this truth settle inside your heart. One bad season is not your whole life. You can begin again. You can heal slowly. You can live gently. You can choose peace again. And no matter how many bad days you have faced, they were never powerful enough to erase the worth, beauty, and possibility of the life still waiting for you. Final reminder, your life is still worth living. Even after hard days, sometimes life becomes so heavy that you forget a simple truth. Your life is still worth living, even after hard days. Not because everything is perfect. Not because every wound has healed. Not because all problems have disappeared. Your life is still worth living because you are still here, still breathing, still learning, and still capable of experiencing peace again. A bad day can make you forget this, but forgetting the truth does not make the truth disappear. When people suffer for a long time, they slowly begin to believe that pain is normal and peace is impossible. They wake up with heaviness in their chest. They move through the day with tired eyes. They smile in front of people, but inside they feel empty. They do what needs to be done, but they no longer feel connected to life. They are alive, but they are not truly present. This is what happens when bad days are allowed to become the whole story. But Buddhism teaches us to wake up. To wake up does not only mean opening your eyes in the morning. It means opening your awareness. It means seeing clearly that this moment is not the same as every painful moment before it. It means realizing that the past may have shaped you, but it does not have to imprison you. It means understanding that suffering may visit your life, but it does not have the right to own your entire heart. The Buddha's path begins with seeing suffering clearly. This is important because many people either run away from their pain or drown inside it. Some people pretend they are fine when they are not. They hide their sadness, ignore their emotions, and keep pushing until they become completely exhausted. Other people become trapped in pain and start believing that nothing else exists. Buddhism teaches another way. It teaches you to look at suffering with honesty but also with wisdom. You can say, yes, I am hurting. But you can also say, this hurt is changing. You can say, yes, today is difficult. But you can also say, today is not my whole life. You can say, yes, I feel lost. But you can also say, feeling lost does not mean I can never find my way again. This is the balance of wisdom. You do not deny pain, but you do not worship it either. Many people worship their pain without realizing it. They give it all their attention. They feed it with repeated thoughts. They replay the same memories. They return to the same wound again and again. They speak to themselves as if the worst thing that happened to them is the only thing that defines them. Slowly, their pain becomes the center of their identity. They stop asking, how can I heal? And only ask, why did this happen to me? It is natural to ask why. When you are hurt, your heart wants answers. But if you stay only in the question of why, you may never move toward healing. Sometimes life does not give you the answer you wanted. Sometimes people do not explain themselves. Sometimes endings come without closure. Sometimes pain arrives without fairness. If you wait for perfect answers before you allow yourself to heal, you may remain stuck for years. This is why Buddhism teaches acceptance. Acceptance does not mean you like what happened. It does not mean you agree with what happened. It does not mean you excuse the people who hurt you. Acceptance simply means you stop fighting reality inside your mind. You stop saying, this should not have happened, every single day. You begin to say, this happened, it hurt me. Now how can I respond with wisdom? This shift is powerful. It moves you from helplessness to awareness. It moves you from being trapped in the past to taking one step in the present. It reminds you that even if you could not control what happened, you can still slowly choose how you care for yourself after it happened. You can choose to rest. You can choose to learn. You can choose to create distance from what harms you. You can choose to stop feeding thoughts that destroy your peace. You can choose to begin again. Your life is still worth living because you have not experienced all the peace that is still possible for you. You have not met every person who may bring kindness into your life. You have not seen every morning that may feel lighter than the one before. You have not learned every lesson that may free your mind. You have not become every version of yourself that is waiting ahead. Pain speaks as if it knows the future, but pain does not know the whole future. A bad day may say nothing will change, but life itself is change. A bad day may say you will always feel this way, but emotions are moving things. A bad day may say there is nothing left for you, but you cannot see every door from the place where you are standing right now. This is why you must not let a painful moment become your final truth. Think about how many times in life you believed something would never change, and then it changed. You once worried about things that no longer control you. You once cried over situations that no longer have the same power. You once thought you could not survive something, but you survived. This does not make your pain small. It makes your strength visible. It proves that your mind does not always tell the full truth when it is afraid. When the mind is tired, it often speaks in extremes. It says always. It says never. It says everyone. It says nothing. It says my whole life. But wisdom speaks differently. Wisdom says, this is one moment. Wisdom says, this is one season. Wisdom says, this is one feeling. Wisdom says, this is one chapter. Wisdom gives space. Pain closes the door. Wisdom opens it again. So when your mind says, "My whole life is bad," pause and ask, is that really true? Or am I looking at life through today's pain? When your mind says, "No one cares," pause and ask, is that really true? Or am I feeling lonely right now? When your mind says, "I will never be happy," pause and ask, is that truth? Or is my tired heart trying to predict a future it cannot see? This simple questioning can save you from believing every painful story. You do not have to fight your mind violently. You only need to bring awareness to it. Awareness is like light in a dark room. It does not scream. It simply reveals what is there. When you become aware of a painful thought, it loses some of its power. It is no longer controlling you from the shadows. You can see it, you can name it, you can let it pass. In Buddhism, meditation is a practice of returning. You return to the breath, you return to the present, you return to awareness. Again and again, the mind wanders, and again you return. This is also how you return to life after bad days. You may not return all at once. You may not wake up one day completely healed, but you return in small ways. You return when you breathe instead of panic. You return when you rest instead of punish yourself. You return when you choose not to call your whole life terrible, because today is difficult. Every return matters. Do not underestimate the power of small returns. A person does not rebuild a peaceful life in one giant step. They rebuild it through small choices repeated with patience. One day they choose not to react. Another day they choose to forgive themselves. Another day they choose to walk away from something harmful. Another day they choose to sit quietly instead of drowning in noise. Slowly, these choices become a path. Slowly, the path becomes a new way of living. Your life is still worth living because healing can happen quietly. You may not notice it at first. You may think nothing is changing. But every time you choose awareness, something changes. Every time you choose patience, something softens. Every time you choose not to believe a dark thought, something becomes freer inside you. Healing is not always loud. Sometimes healing is silent work happening deep within the heart. There may be days when you feel like you are moving backward. Maybe an old memory returns. Maybe a familiar sadness comes back. Maybe you suddenly feel tired again. Do not panic. Healing is not ruined because pain returned. A cloudy day does not mean the sun has died. It only means clouds are passing through. In the same way, an old feeling returning does not mean you have failed. It means something inside you still needs kindness and awareness. Be kind to yourself in those moments. Do not say, "I thought I was healed. Why am I feeling this again?" Say, "Something in me is asking for care." Do not say, "I am back to zero." Say, "I am meeting this pain with more wisdom than before." This shift changes the way you treat yourself. And the way you treat yourself during hard days matters more than you think. Many people are gentle with others but cruel to themselves. They comfort other people, but when they suffer, they attack themselves. They say things to themselves that they would never say to someone they love. They call themselves weak, stupid, broken, hopeless, or useless. This inner cruelty becomes another form of suffering. It turns a bad day into a deeper wound. Buddhism teaches compassion, and true compassion must include your own heart. You are also a living being. You also deserve patience. You also deserve gentleness. You also deserve understanding. If you would not shame another person for hurting, do not shame yourself for hurting. If you would tell someone else to rest, give yourself permission to rest. If you would remind someone else that bad days pass, remind yourself too. Self-compassion does not make you lazy. It gives you the strength to continue without destroying yourself. Harshness may push you for a short time, but compassion heals you for a lifetime. When you speak kindly to yourself, your nervous system softens, your mind becomes less defensive, your heart feels safer. And when the heart feels safe, healing becomes possible. Your life is still worth living because you can learn to become a safe place for yourself. This is one of the most powerful lessons. Many people spend their whole life searching for someone else to rescue them from their inner pain. They wait for another person to say the perfect words, give perfect love, and remove all loneliness. But while human connection is beautiful and important, Your deepest peace cannot depend only on another person. You must also learn how to sit with yourself without becoming your own enemy. Being a safe place for yourself means you stop abandoning yourself when life gets hard. It means you do not insult yourself for feeling. It means you do not ignore your needs to please everyone. It means you do not return to what harms you just because you feel lonely. It means you protect your peace, your body, your time, and your mind. It means you learn to say, I am with myself. I will not leave myself just because this day is painful. This kind of inner loyalty can change everything. When you become loyal to your peace, you stop chasing things that destroy it. When you become loyal to your healing, you stop feeding habits that keep you wounded. When you become loyal to your life, you stop letting temporary pain make permanent decisions. A bad day is not the day to decide your whole future. A tired mind is not the best place to judge your entire life. A wounded heart is not the best place to decide your worth. When you are exhausted, your vision becomes narrow. You cannot see clearly. That is why on bad days your task is not to make big final judgments. Your task is to care for yourself until clarity returns. Eat something, drink water, breathe slowly your body, sit in silence, step outside, write your thoughts, pray or meditate if that brings you peace. Speak to someone safe if you can. Give the storm time to pass. You do not have to solve everything while your emotions are at their loudest. Sometimes wisdom begins by waiting until the mind becomes quiet enough to see clearly. Your life is still worth living because even ordinary days can become meaningful when you are present. You do not need a perfect life to feel alive. You do not need everything to be solved before you notice beauty. There is meaning in simple things. There is peace in a slow breath. There is comfort in warm sunlight. There is beauty in silence. There is healing in a small routine. There is strength in choosing to continue. Many people miss life because they are waiting for something huge. They think life only becomes meaningful after success, money, love, recognition, or achievement. But Buddhism teaches us to return to the present moment, because life is not only in big events. Life is in the breath. Life is in awareness. Life is in how you drink your tea, how you listen, how you walk, how you speak, how you treat yourself, and how you meet this moment. When you learn this, bad days lose some power, because even if the day is not perfect, it can still hold one moment of awareness. Even if your heart is not fully healed, it can still feel 1 second of peace. Even if the future is uncertain, this present moment can still be lived gently. A bad day may not become a happy day, but it can become a mindful day. And sometimes a mindful day is enough. Do not demand too much from yourself on hard days. Do not say, I must be happy today. Say, I will be gentle today. Do not, I must fix my whole life today. Say, I will take one wise step today. Do not say, I must forget the pain today. Say, I will not let pain control every breath today. These softer goals are more realistic, and they help you heal without pressure. Pressure can make healing feel like another burden. You start feeling like you are failing at being peaceful. But peace is not a performance. Healing is not a competition. Spiritual growth is not about looking calm in front of others. It is about becoming honest, aware, and kind inside yourself. Some days your practice may be meditation. Some days your practice may be not reacting. Some days your practice may simply be surviving without hating yourself. That still counts. Your life is still worth living because you are not finished becoming. The version of you that exists today is not the final version. You may feel weak today, but strength can grow. You may feel confused today, but clarity can come. You may feel closed today, but your heart can open again. You may feel tired today, but energy can return. You are not a fixed object. You are a living process. Buddhism teaches that everything is changing. This includes you. Your thoughts change. Your feelings change. Your understanding changes. Your habits can change. Your reactions can change. Your relationship with pain can change. Do not trap yourself inside one version of yourself and call it permanent. You are allowed to grow beyond the person you were during your hardest days. Maybe your bad days made you more aware. Maybe they taught you not to waste time. Maybe they taught you to stop giving your energy to drama. Maybe they taught you that peace is more important than approval. Maybe they taught you to be more compassionate toward others, because now you understand hidden pain. Maybe they taught you to be more careful with your own heart. If your bad days gave you wisdom, then they did not win completely. Pain may have entered your life, but wisdom came from it. That wisdom can guide the rest of your path. It can help you make better choices. It can help you walk away sooner. It can help you love yourself more honestly. It can help you value simple peace. It can help you live with more awareness than before. This does not make the pain good. Pain is still painful, but it means pain does not have to be wasted. If you can learn from it, grow from it, and become more awake because of it, then your suffering becomes part of your transformation instead of only part of your destruction. So do not let your bad days convince you that life is meaningless. Sometimes meaning is born after pain. Sometimes purpose becomes clear after confusion. Sometimes peace becomes precious after suffering. Sometimes the person you become after the storm is wiser than the person you were before it. You may not have chosen the storm, but you can choose what kind of person you become after walking through it. Choose not to become bitter. Choose not to become cruel. Choose not to close your heart forever. Choose not to turn your pain into a weapon against yourself or others. Choose awareness. Choose patience. Choose softness with boundaries. Choose wisdom. Choose a life where bad days are teachers, not masters. You are allowed to protect your peace. You are allowed to step away from people who drain you. You are allowed to stop explaining yourself to people who refuse to understand. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to begin again quietly. You are allowed to outgrow the life that once made you suffer. Sometimes the next chapter of your life begins with a simple decision. I will no longer let my bad days decide who I am. That decision may not change everything immediately, but it changes your direction. It turns your face toward healing. It reminds your heart that you still have power. Not power over everything, but power over your next breath, your next thought, your next step, your next choice, and that is enough for today. Do not ask for the whole road, ask for the next step. Do not ask for complete peace immediately. Ask for one moment of calm. Do not ask to understand your whole life. Ask to meet this moment with awareness. This is how you move through suffering without being swallowed by it. Your life is still worth living, not because it is easy, but because it is still unfolding. The story is still open. The pages are still turning. You have not seen everything yet. You have not healed everything yet. You have not become everything yet. Do not close the book because one chapter was painful. One day, you may look back at the days that almost broke you and say, "Those days were not my whole life. They were only the days that taught me how deeply I needed peace." You may realize that the pain you thought would end you actually pushed you toward awareness. You may realize that the season you hated became the season that awakened you. You may realize that the version of you who suffered was also the version of you who began to grow. Until that day comes, keep living gently. Keep choosing one small act of peace. Keep returning to the breath. Keep speaking kindly to yourself. Keep remembering that everything changes. Keep holding the truth that your life is more than your hardest moments. You are not your bad days. You are not your worst thoughts. You are not your deepest sadness. You are not the people who hurt you. You are not the mistakes you made while you were learning. You are not the season that made you feel lost. You are the awareness that can observe all of it. You are the heart that can heal from it. You are the life that can continue beyond it. So when the next bad day comes, meet it with wisdom. Say, "You may visit, but you are not my home." Say, "You may hurt, but you will not define me." Say, "You may be heavy, but you are not permanent." Say, "I will learn from you, breathe through you, and continue after you." That is how you protect your life from being swallowed by pain. That is how you remember how to live. That is how you prove to yourself again and again that your life is still worth living, even after hard days. 12. Final meditation. Come back to life one breath at a time. There are moments in life when the heart becomes so tired that even simple things feel heavy. Waking up feels heavy. Smiling feels heavy. Talking to people feels heavy. Thinking about the future feels heavy. Even silence can feel heavy when the mind is full of pain. During these moments, it is easy to believe that life has lost its beauty. It is easy to believe that the bad days have taken everything from you. But they have not taken everything. As long as you are breathing, there is still a doorway back to life. You do not have to return all at once. You do not have to become strong in one day. You do not have to heal every wound before sunset. You do not have to understand why everything happened before you allow yourself to feel peace again. Sometimes the path back to life begins with one breath. One quiet breath where you stop fighting yourself. One breath where you stop calling your whole life broken. One breath where you gently remind yourself, this moment is painful, but it is not permanent. In Buddhism, the breath is deeply powerful because it brings you back to the present moment. When the mind is lost in the past, the breath brings it back. When the mind is afraid of the future, the breath brings it back. When the heart feels buried under sadness, the breath reminds you that life is still moving inside you. You may feel stuck, but your breath is not stuck. It keeps coming and going, quietly reminding you that change is still happening. Your breath does not ask whether your life is perfect. It does not ask whether your heart is fully healed. It does not ask whether people treated you fairly. It simply continues. In the same way, you can continue gently, even when life is not perfect. You can continue while healing. You can continue while confused. You can continue while tired. You can continue without having every answer. Sometimes continuing itself is an act of deep courage. A bad day can make you feel like you have lost yourself. It can make you forget your strength, your softness, your dreams, and your ability to feel joy. But the self you think you lost may not be gone. It may only be hidden under pain, exhaustion, fear, and disappointment. When clouds cover the moon has not disappeared. It is only hidden for a while. In the same way, your peace may be hidden, but it is not impossible to find again. Do not rush yourself back to happiness. Happiness that is forced does not heal the heart. Instead, come back slowly. Come back with honesty. Come back with awareness. Come back by noticing one simple thing that is still here. Your breath is here. Your body is here. This moment is here. A small chance to begin again is here. You do not need to hold the whole future in your hands. You only need to hold this moment gently. Many people make healing harder because they fight their own emotions. They say, I should not feel this way. I should be over this. I should be stronger. I should be happier by now. But these thoughts only create more suffering. Pain is already difficult. Do not add self-hatred on top of it. If sadness is present, acknowledge it. If fear is present, acknowledge it. If loneliness is present, acknowledge it. You do not have to invite these feelings to stay forever, but you can recognize that they are here. Buddhism teaches observation. Observation means you watch what is happening inside you without becoming completely trapped by it. You can say, sadness is here, not, I am sadness. You can say fear is here, not I am fear. You can say pain is here, not my whole life is pain. This small difference is very powerful. It creates space between you and the emotion, and in that space, peace can begin to grow. When you believe you are your pain, you feel trapped. But when you see pain as something passing through you, you begin to feel free. The emotion may still hurt, but it no longer becomes your whole identity. You are not the storm. You are the sky that holds the storm. You are not the wave. You are the ocean that allows the wave to rise and fall. You are not one bad day. You are the life that continues beyond that day. This does not mean your pain is small. Some pain is deep. Some wounds take time. Some memories return again and again. Some losses change you forever. But even deep pain is not the whole of you. Even a long season of suffering is not your entire existence. You can respect your pain without becoming owned by it. You can honor what you survived without building your future around the wound. There is a quiet wisdom in saying, this hurt me, but I am still here. There is strength in saying, this changed me, but I can still grow. There is freedom in saying, this was part of my story, but it will not be my whole story. These words do not erase pain, but they open a window. They allow light to enter the places where hopelessness once lived. If today feels heavy, do not demand a perfect life from yourself. Do not demand complete healing. Do not demand instant peace. Ask only for one mindful breath, then another, then another. Let your breath become a small bridge between pain and peace. Let your breath remind you that you do not have to live yesterday again. Let your breath remind you that tomorrow has not arrived yet. Let your breath bring you back to the only place where life can be touched. This present moment. In this moment, you can soften your shoulders. In this moment, you can unclench your hands. In this moment, you can stop attacking yourself. In this moment, you can say, I am allowed to be human. You are allowed to have difficult days. You are allowed to feel tired. You are allowed to need rest. You are allowed to heal slowly. You are allowed to begin again without knowing exactly how everything will unfold. The mind often wants certainty before it feels safe. It wants to know when the pain will end, when the future will become clear, when life will feel peaceful again. But life does not always give certainty. Buddhism teaches us to live with change, not to control it completely. You may not know exactly when peace will return, but you can create conditions for peace. You can breathe. You can rest. You can let go of one harmful thought. You can speak gently to yourself. You can choose one small action that supports healing. This is how you come back to life. Not by forcing everything to be perfect, but by meeting this imperfect moment with awareness. Not by demanding that pain disappear immediately, but by refusing to let pain become your whole identity. Not by pretending your bad days never happened, but by realizing they do not have to own every day that comes after. Sometimes coming back to life means noticing beauty again. At first, it may feel strange. You may look at the sky and feel nothing. You may hear laughter and feel distant. You may sit in silence and feel only emptiness. That is okay. Do not force yourself to feel deeply. Just notice. Notice the color of the sky. Notice the sound of your breath. Notice the feeling of your feet on the ground. Notice the warmth of a cup in your hands. These small acts of noticing slowly reconnect you with life. Mindfulness is not about making every moment beautiful. It is about being present enough to receive what the moment contains. Some moments contain joy. Some contain sadness. Some contain silence. Some contain lessons. When you are present, you stop abandoning your life. You stop living only in memory and fear. You return to the place where healing can actually happen. Bad days pull the mind away from life. They pull it into regret, fear, bitterness, and imagination. Mindfulness brings the mind back. It says, come back. This moment still exists. This breath still exists. This life still exists. Every time you come back, even for a few seconds, you are practicing freedom. Do not underestimate a few seconds of peace. A few seconds can become a minute. A minute can become a practice. A practice can become a new way of living. A new way of living can change the direction of your whole life. Many great transformations begin very quietly. They begin when a person decides, I cannot control everything, but I can return to this breath. Your bad days may have made you feel powerless, but you are not completely powerless. You may not control what happened in the past. You may not control what others do. You may not control every change in life, but you can slowly learn to control where you place your attention. You can learn to stop feeding every painful thought. You can learn to pause before reacting. You can learn to protect your peace. You can learn to choose awareness. This is not easy, but it is possible. And because it is possible, you do not need to surrender your whole life to suffering. You can take your life back gently, not through anger, not through force, not through pretending, but through awareness, patience, compassion, and small daily choices. Start by speaking to yourself differently. Instead of saying, I am broken, say I am healing. Instead of saying, I cannot do this, say I can take one small step. Instead of saying, my life is terrible, say, this season is difficult, but it can change. Instead of saying, I will never be peaceful, say, peace may return slowly. These words matter because they shape the atmosphere of your inner world. Your heart listens to the words you repeat. If you keep telling yourself that life is hopeless, your heart will grow tired. If you keep telling yourself that you are a failure, your mind will stop trying. But if you speak with wisdom and compassion, even gently, something inside you begins to soften. You begin to feel that maybe the story is not over. Maybe peace is still possible. Maybe you can continue. This is not false hope. False hope ignores pain. Real hope sees pain and still leaves the door open. Real hope says this is hard, but change is possible. Real hope says, I am hurting, but I am not finished. Real hope says, I do not know the whole path, but I can take this next step. This kind of hope is quiet, but it is strong. There may be days when you cannot feel hope clearly. On those days, let discipline carry you. Let routine carry you. Let breath carry you. Let small acts of care carry you. You do not always need to feel inspired to take care of your life. Sometimes you take care of your life because you know it matters, even when your emotions are heavy. Drink water because your body matters. Rest because your mind matters. Walk outside because your spirit needs space. Sit quietly because your heart needs silence. Step away from harmful conversations because your peace matters. These small actions are not small when you are healing. They are signs that you are choosing life again. Many people wait until they feel strong before they begin. But strength often comes after you begin. You take one step while still tired and strength slowly returns. You breathe while still anxious and calm slowly grows. You rest while still guilty and your body slowly learns safety. You live while still healing and life slowly becomes familiar again. Do not wait until the pain is gone before you return to life. Return to life gently and the pain will slowly lose its power. Do not wait until your mind is silent before you practice peace. Practice peace and the mind will slowly become quieter. Do not wait until you love yourself perfectly before you speak kindly to yourself. Speak kindly and self-love will slowly grow. This is the path of practice. Buddhism is not only something to understand, it is something to live. You practice letting go when you release one thought that harms you. You practice compassion when you stop insulting yourself. You practice mindfulness when you return to one breath. You practice wisdom when you remember that this bad day is temporary. You practice peace when you choose not to make your pain worse with your own thoughts. Every practice matters. Even if no one sees it, it matters. Even if no one praises you, it matters. Even if progress feels slow, it matters. Healing is often invisible at first. Other people may not notice the battles you are winning inside. They may not see when you choose not to react. They may not see when you survive a hard night. They may not see when you stop yourself from believing a dark thought. But you know, and your spirit knows. You do not need everyone to understand your healing. Some people will only see the outside of your life. They will not understand the inner work it takes to keep going after painful days. Let that be okay. Heal for yourself. Return to life for yourself. Choose peace because your heart deserves it, not because other people are watching. There is dignity in quiet healing. There is dignity in rebuilding slowly. There is dignity in choosing not to give up even when your progress is invisible. You do not have to announce every step. You do not have to prove your healing to anyone. You only have to keep returning to what brings you back to life. And remember this, coming back to life does not mean forgetting the past. It means the past no longer controls every breath. It means you can remember what happened without becoming trapped in it. It means the memory may still exist, but it no longer decides your future. It means you have taken the lesson and slowly released the chain. Some memories may always carry sadness, but sadness does not have to be a prison. Some chapters may always be painful, but they do not have to be your whole book. Some wounds may leave scars, but scars are not proof that life is over. They are proof that something hurt and something healed enough to close. You are allowed to carry scars and still live beautifully. You are allowed to have a past and still create a peaceful future. You are allowed to be a person who suffered and still became gentle, wise, strong, and awake. Your pain does not disqualify you from peace. Your bad days do not disqualify you from joy. Your mistakes do not disqualify you from growth. Life is not asking you to be untouched. Life is asking you to be aware. It is asking you to learn how to meet change with wisdom. It is asking you to stop holding temporary pain like a permanent truth. It is asking you to come back again and again to the breath, to the present, to compassion, to peace. So take a moment now, even if only in your mind, and breathe. Let the breath enter. Let the breath leave. Do not force anything. Do not chase any feeling. Just notice that you are here. After everything, you are here. After the bad days, you are here. The confusion, the sadness, the fear, and the tiredness, you are here. That matters. Your presence matters. Your life matters. Your healing matters. The fact that you are still trying matters. The fact that you have not completely given up matters. Even if your progress is slow, even if your heart is still tender, even if your mind is still learning how to be calm, you are here. And while you are here, the path is still open. Come back to life one breath at a time. Come back when you are ready, and even when you do not feel ready. Come back gently. Come back through rest. Come back through silence. Come back through self-compassion. Come back through small choices. Come back through mindfulness. Come back through remembering that everything changes. Do not let bad days convince you that life has no beauty left. Do not let pain convince you that peace is impossible. Do not let one season convince you that every season will be the same. You have not seen all the ways life can soften. You have not experienced all the peace that can return. You have not met every version of yourself that can rise from this. The breath you are taking now is not the breath you took yesterday. This moment is not the same as the moment that hurt you. You are not standing in the exact same place forever. Life is moving. You are moving. Even when healing is slow, something is still moving. Trust that movement. Trust the small return. Trust the breath. Trust that your bad days were real, but they were not the whole truth. The whole truth is that you suffered, but you are still here. You were hurt, but you can still heal. You were tired, but you can still rest. You were lost, but you can still return. You had bad days, but you still have life. So come back to life one breath at a time, not with pressure, not with shame, not with the demand to be perfect. Come back gently. Come back honestly. Come back as you are, because even after the worst days, life is still quietly waiting for you to return. 13. Life Review. Do not let pain become the story you tell yourself forever one day. You may look back on your life with clearer eyes than you have today. You may remember the days when your heart felt heavy, the nights when your mind would not rest, the moments when you thought you were too tired to continue, and the seasons when life felt unfair. But when that day comes, you may also realize something important. Those painful moments were real, but they were not the whole story. They were not the only thing that happened. They were not the only thing that mattered. The mind has a strange habit. It often remembers pain more loudly than peace. One insult can echo longer than 10 kind words. One betrayal can feel bigger than many moments of love. One failure can cover many quiet victories. One bad season can make the mind forget all the days when life was still gentle. This is why you must be careful about the story you tell yourself. If you keep telling yourself that your life is only pain, your heart will slowly start to believe it. In Buddhism, the stories we create in the mind can become a source of suffering. Life happens, but then the mind adds meaning to it. Something painful happens, and the mind says, "This means I am unlucky." Someone leaves, and the mind says, "This means I am not worth staying for." A plan fails, and the mind says, "This means I will never succeed." But these meanings are not always truth. Many times, they are only pain trying to explain itself. You must learn to question the story your pain is telling you. A painful event may be true, but the painful meaning you attach to it may not be true. It may be true that someone hurt you, but it is not true that everyone will hurt you. It may be true that you failed at something, but it is not true that you are a failure. It may be true that today is difficult, but it is not true that your whole life is destroyed. This difference can save your peace. Many people do not suffer only because of what happened. They suffer because they keep repeating the same story inside themselves. They wake up and carry yesterday's pain into today. They meet new people, but still look through the eyes of old disappointment. They try to move forward but keep dragging the same heavy identity behind them. They say, "This is just who I am now," when really, it is only a wound that has not yet been healed. Buddhism teaches that nothing is fixed. Your thoughts are not fixed. Your emotions are not fixed. Your identity is not fixed. Your future is not fixed. Even the story you have told yourself for years can change when awareness enters it. You can begin to say, I went through pain, but I am not pain. You can say, I had bad days, but I am not a bad life. You can say, I was hurt, but I am not here only to suffer. This is not pretending. This is seeing clearly. Clear seeing means you do not deny your wounds, but you also do not allow your wounds to become your whole name. Clear seeing means you remember the difficult parts of your life, but you also remember the strength that carried you through them. Clear seeing means you accept that bad days happened, but you refuse to let them erase every blessing, every lesson, every peaceful breath, and every chance to begin again. If you look back honestly, you will see that even in hard seasons, not every moment was suffering. Maybe there was one person who cared. Maybe there was one morning that felt quiet. Maybe there was one meal that comforted you. Maybe there was one prayer, one meditation, one walk, one moment of silence, or one small thought that helped you continue. Pain may have been loud, but it was not the only sound in your life. This is important because the mind often turns pain into a complete picture. It says everything was bad. But was everything bad? Or was the pain so strong that it covered the rest? It says nobody cared. But did nobody care? Or were you too hurt to notice the people who tried in small ways? It says nothing good ever happens. But is that true? Or is your mind remembering only what hurt? These questions are not meant to shame you. They are meant to open your eyes. When you are in pain, the mind becomes narrow. It looks only at the wound. It forgets the sky, the breath, the body, the present moment, the small blessings, and the possibility of change. This is why mindfulness matters. Mindfulness widens the view. It helps you see that a bad day is only one part of the whole day. A bad season is only one part of the whole life. A painful memory is only one part of the whole person you are. Do not let your pain edit your whole life into a tragedy. Do not let one chapter rewrite every chapter before it and every chapter after it. Your life has contained more than suffering. It has contained learning. It has contained survival. It has contained moments of courage that no one saw. It has contained silent battles that you won simply by continuing. It has contained small acts of strength that you may not even count as strength. Every time you woke up and continued, that mattered. Every time you chose not to give up, that mattered. Every time you cried but still breathed through the night, that mattered. Every time you returned to yourself after feeling lost, that mattered. These moments may not look dramatic, but they are proof that your life is more than pain. They are proof that something inside you kept choosing life. Sometimes people believe their life is ruined because they are not where they thought they would be. They compare their reality to the life they imagined, and this comparison creates more suffering. They think, I should be happier by now. I should be stronger by now. I should have achieved more by now. I should have healed by now. But life does not always follow the timeline your mind creates. Healing has its own pace. Growth has its own pace. Wisdom has its own pace. In Buddhism, patience is not weakness. Patience is understanding that everything unfolds through causes, conditions, and time. A seed does not become a tree in one night. A wound does not heal because you become angry at it. A mind does not become peaceful by being forced. Everything grows through the right conditions. If you want peace, you must create conditions for peace. If you want healing, you must create conditions for healing. This means you stop feeding the story that destroys you. You stop repeating, my life is terrible, every time one thing goes wrong. You stop saying, I am broken forever, every time an old feeling returns. You stop telling yourself, nothing will ever change, when everything in life is always changing. Instead, you create a new inner condition. You speak with awareness. You speak with patience. You speak with compassion. Say, this is a hard day, but I can meet it gently. Say, this pain is here, but it is not my whole identity. Say, I do not understand everything, but I can take one wise step. Say, I am not where I want to be, but I am not where I used to be either. These words are not magic, but they are medicine. They slowly change the atmosphere inside you. Your inner story becomes the place where your mind lives. If your story is always cruel, your mind will never feel safe. If your story is always hopeless, your heart will stop looking for light. If your story is always built around what hurt you, you will struggle to notice what is healing you. This is why you must choose your inner story carefully, not falsely, but wisely. A wise story sounds like this: I have suffered, but I am learning. A wise story says, I have been hurt, but I am healing. A wise story says, I have had bad days, but I still have life. My past shaped me, but it does not have to imprison me. This kind of story does not deny pain. It gives pain a proper place. It says, you are part of my life, but you are not the ruler of my life. Many people carry pain like a permanent identity because they are afraid that letting go means the pain did not matter. But letting go does not mean the pain did not matter. It means you matter too. It means your future matters. It means your peace matters. It means you are choosing not to sacrifice every new day to an old wound. The wound was real, but your life is also real. The loss was real, but your breath today is also real. The bad days were real, but the possibility of healing is also real. Letting go is not betrayal. You are not betraying your past by becoming peaceful. You are not disrespecting your pain by smiling again. You are not pretending nothing happened by choosing to live. You are honoring your life by refusing to stay buried in what hurt you. You are saying, this happened, but I will not let it take everything. This is a very brave thing to say. It is brave because pain often wants all of your attention. It wants your mornings, it wants your nights, it wants your thoughts, it wants your body, it wants your future, it wants your identity. But wisdom says, no, you may have been part of my path, but you do not get to own the whole path. This is how you begin to reclaim yourself. Reclaim your mornings. Do not give the first breath of the day to yesterday's pain. Before you pick up your worries, take one moment to simply breathe. Let the morning remind you that life has begun again. Even if the day is not perfect, it is new. Even if you are still healing, you are still here. A new day does not erase the past, but it gives you another chance to meet life differently. Reclaim your thoughts. Not every thought deserves your belief. Not every memory deserves your full attention. Not every fear deserves to become your future. When your mind begins to repeat the old story, ask, is this helping me heal, or is this keeping me trapped? This question is powerful. It helps you stop feeding thoughts that only make the wound deeper. Reclaim your body. Bad days can make you neglect yourself. You may stop resting properly. You may stop eating well. You may stop moving. You may treat your body like it does not matter because your mind is suffering. But your body is part of your healing. Be kind to it. Breathe deeply. Drink water. Rest. Walk. Sit in silence. Let your body know it is safe to live again. Reclaim your peace. This means you stop giving unlimited access to people, memories, habits, and environments that destroy your inner world. You do not need to hate anyone. You do not need to fight everything. Sometimes reclaiming peace is quiet. It is choosing not to argue, choosing not to return, choosing not to explain yourself again, choosing not to open the door to the same pain, choosing to protect what you are trying to heal. Reclaim your future. Do not let the past write every page. Your future may not look exactly like you once imagined, but that does not mean it cannot be meaningful. Sometimes life changes direction, and at first it feels like loss. But later, with wisdom, you may realize that a different path was opening. Do not close yourself to possibility just because one possibility ended. Life has more than one doorway. In Buddhism, attachment makes us suffer because we hold too tightly to how we think life must be. We create one picture in the mind, and when life does not match that picture, we suffer deeply. But sometimes peace begins when we stop demanding that life follow our exact plan. We still act with wisdom, we still work, we still care, but we also understand that change is part of the path. Maybe your life did not go exactly as planned. Maybe some people changed. Maybe some dreams ended. Maybe some doors closed. But that does not mean life is finished. It means life is moving. It means you are being asked to meet a new reality with awareness. It means you must learn how to walk forward without clinging to the exact picture you once imagined. This is not easy. Letting go of an old story can feel like losing yourself. But sometimes the self you are losing is not your true self. It is only the wounded identity you built to survive. You may have built an identity around being abandoned, betrayed, unlucky, rejected, or broken. That identity may feel familiar, but familiar does not always mean true. It may have protected you once, but now it may be limiting you. You are allowed to become someone new. You are allowed to outgrow the story that pain gave you. You are allowed to stop introducing yourself to life through your wounds. You are allowed to say, "I am more than this," not because the pain was small, but because your life is bigger. The person you are becoming may be calmer than the person you were before. They may be quieter, more careful, more spiritual, more aware, and less interested in drama. They may value peace more than popularity. They may choose silence over reaction. They may choose healing over revenge. They may choose simple living over chasing everything. This is not loss. This can be growth. Bad days often remove illusions. They show you that some things you chased were not worth your peace. They show you that some people you tried to impress were not important to your soul. They show you that time is precious, health is precious, silence is precious, and inner peace is precious. These lessons may come painfully, but once you understand them, they can change the way you live. Do not waste these lessons. Do not go through pain and come out only bitter. Come out wiser. Come out more aware. Come out more respectful of your own peace. Come out with a softer heart and stronger boundaries. Come out knowing that life is short and you do not want to spend it trapped inside thoughts that only harm you. One day, when you look back, you may see that your bad days did not only take from you, they also revealed things. They revealed your strength. They revealed who truly cared. They revealed what needed to change. They revealed where you were attached. They revealed what your soul was tired of carrying. They revealed that you needed to return to yourself. Maybe the bad days were not the end of your life. Maybe they were the interruption that forced you to stop living unconsciously. Maybe they were the painful pause that made you question what you were doing with your time, your energy, and your heart. Maybe they were the moment life whispered, "Wake up, you are not here forever." Stop wasting yourself on what destroys your peace. This is why your pain should not become the story you tell yourself forever. Let it become a lesson. Let it become a turning point. Let it become the place where you began to live more wisely. Let it become the reason you no longer ignore your own heart. Let it become the reason you notice small blessings. Let it become the reason you choose peace before it is too late. But do not let it become the entire book. Your life deserves a bigger story. A story where you suffered, but you also healed. A story where you fell, but you also rose. A story where you lost, but you also learned. A story where you felt broken, but you also became wiser. A story where bad days came, but they did not stop you from living. Begin telling yourself that story. Not loudly, not falsely, not with pressure. Begin quietly. Begin each day with one small truthful reminder. My pain is not my whole life. Say it when your mind becomes dark. Say it when an old memory returns. Say it when you feel tired. Say it when you wake up with heaviness. Say it until your heart begins to understand. My pain is not my whole life. My past is not my prison. My bad days are not my identity. My story can still change. These reminders are like small lamps on a dark road. They may not light the whole path at once, but they can show you the next step. And sometimes the next step is all you need. You do not need to see the whole future. You only need enough light to keep walking. So keep walking. Walk through the days that feel heavy. Walk through the moments when healing feels slow. Walk through the memories that still hurt. Walk through the uncertainty. Walk through the fear. Not because it is easy, but because your life is still worth the journey. Do not let pain become the only story you tell yourself forever. Tell the story of your survival. Tell the story of your patience. Tell the story of your courage. Tell the story of your quiet growth. Tell the story of the mornings you kept going. Tell the story of the nights you survived. Tell the story of the wisdom that slowly grew from your wounds. And most of all, tell the truth. The truth is not that life never hurt you. It did. The truth is not that every day was easy. It was not. The truth is not that you always felt strong. You did not. The truth is that bad days came, but they passed. Pain visited, but it did not become all of you. You suffered, but you learned. You broke in some places, but you healed in others. You lost some things, but you found wisdom. You felt tired, but you continued. You were changed, but you were not destroyed. That is the story worth carrying. That is the story that can give you peace. That is the story that reminds you, even after everything, your life is still open, still moving, still becoming, and still worthy of being lived with awareness, courage, and hope. 14. Before your final breath, do not realize too late that life was still beautiful one day. Every person will reach a final moment. One day, there will be a last morning, a last sunset, a last breath, a last thought, and a final look back at the life that has passed. Most people do not like to think about this, but Buddhism teaches us not to run away from the truth of impermanence. Everything that begins will one day end. Every life is temporary, every season changes, every body grows older, every moment passes and never returns in the same way again. This truth may sound sad at first, but it can also become a powerful teacher. When you remember that life is temporary, you begin to see how precious it is. You begin to understand that today is not something ordinary. This breath is not something small. This moment is not something meaningless. It is part of your life, and one day you may wish you had noticed it more deeply. Many people only understand the value of life when life is almost gone. They look back and realize they spent too many years worrying about things that never happened. They spent too many days replaying old pain. They spent too much energy trying to please people who did not truly matter. They carried anger longer than necessary. They held on to regret. They allowed bad days to become the main story in their mind. Then, near the end, they realized something painful. Life was still beautiful, but they were too trapped in suffering to see it. Do not wait until your final breath to understand this. Do not wait until time has passed to realize that your bad days were not your whole life. Do not wait until the simple things are gone before you see their value. The ordinary moments you ignore today may become the moments you miss one day. The quiet morning, the warm meal, the person sitting near you, the chance to breathe without pain, the ability to walk, to listen, to think, to begin again. These things may seem small now, but they are part of the gift of being alive. Bad days make people forget this gift. When the mind is hurting, it says, nothing matters. It says, life is only pain. It says, there is nothing beautiful here. But the mind in pain is not seeing the whole picture. It is seeing through darkness. It is looking through one wound. It is judging the whole sky by one storm. This is why awareness matters. Awareness reminds you to pause and ask, is life truly empty, or am I seeing life through today's sadness? In Buddhism, suffering becomes heavier when we cling to it. We hold one painful memory, one disappointment, one rejection, one failure, and we keep returning to it again and again. We think about it in the morning. We carry it through the day. We sleep with it at night. Slowly, the wound becomes the center of our life. But while we are busy holding the wound, life continues moving. Days pass, seasons pass. People change, opportunities come and go. Simple blessings appear and disappear. And because the mind is trapped in pain, it does not notice them. This is one of the greatest tragedies. Not that life has pain, but that pain can make us blind to life. A person may have food, shelter, breath, time, and people who care. But if the mind is trapped in suffering, it will still say, I have nothing. This does not mean their pain is fake. Pain can be very real, but pain is not the only real thing. Breath is real too. Morning light is real too. The chance to change is real too. The present moment is real too. Before your final breath, understand this deeply. Life does not need to be perfect to be worth living. If you wait for a perfect life before you feel grateful, you may never feel grateful. If you wait for every wound to disappear before you allow yourself peace, you may delay peace for too long. If you wait for everyone to understand you before you stop suffering, you may suffer more than necessary. Life is not asking you to wait for perfection. Life is asking you to wake up inside this imperfect moment. Maybe today is not easy. Maybe your heart is still carrying something heavy. Maybe your mind is tired. Maybe some part of your life feels uncertain. But even then, this day is still part of your life. Do not throw it away completely. Do not say, "This day has no value," simply because it contains pain. A day can be difficult and still contain one meaningful breath. A day can be heavy and still teach you something. A day can be imperfect and still offer one small blessing. In Buddhism, mindfulness means returning to what is here, not what should have been here, not what used to be here, not what you fear may happen later, but what is here now. When you practice mindfulness, you begin to notice life again. You notice the body breathing. You notice the feet touching the ground. You notice the sound of the world around you. You notice the thoughts coming and going. You notice that even pain changes from moment to moment. This noticing brings you back from mental suffering into direct experience. Most of the time, people do not suffer only from the present moment. They suffer from the past and future added on top of the present. They suffer from memories, regrets, fears, and imagined endings. They carry 10 years of pain into one day and then wonder why the day feels unbearable. But when you return to the present, you realize you only need to meet this breath, this step, this small moment. This is how you begin to live again. Before your final breath, learn to live one day at a time. Do not try to carry your whole life in your mind every morning. Do not wake up and immediately place the weight of the past, the fear of the future, and the pressure of every problem on your heart. Begin with one breath. Begin with one wise thought. Begin with one act of care. Begin by saying, "Today may not be perfect, but I will not abandon myself inside it." This is important because many people abandon themselves during bad days. They stop caring for their body. They stop speaking kindly to themselves. They stop protecting their peace. They return to habits that make them feel worse. They let their mind become a place of punishment. They treat themselves as if they are the enemy. But bad days are exactly when you need your own kindness the most. When life becomes hard, do not become hard against yourself. Self-compassion is not weakness. It is not laziness. It is not making excuses. Self-compassion is the wisdom of understanding that a wounded heart heals better with care than with cruelty. If a child fell down, you would not scream at the child for bleeding. You would help them stand. You would clean the wound. You would speak softly. You would give them time. Why do you not offer the same kindness to yourself when your heart is wounded? Before your final breath, stop being your own enemy. Stop speaking to yourself in ways that make your suffering deeper. Stop calling yourself broken, useless, weak, or hopeless. These words are not harmless. They shape the mind. They teach the heart what to believe. If you keep telling yourself that you are nothing, your spirit becomes tired. If you keep telling yourself that life is hopeless, your mind stops looking for light. Speak to yourself with wisdom. Say, "I am hurting, but I am healing." Say, "This is hard, but it is not forever." Say, "I made mistakes, but I can learn." Say, "My bad days are not my whole life." You do not need to lie to yourself. You only need to stop attacking yourself. There is a difference between truth and cruelty. Truth says, "I am going through pain." Cruelty says, "I am only pain." Truth says, "I made a mistake." Cruelty says, "I am a mistake." Truth says, "Today is difficult." Cruelty says, "My whole life is terrible." Choose truth, not cruelty. Truth can help you grow. Cruelty only keeps you trapped. One day, when you look back, you may regret the years you spent hating yourself more than the mistakes themselves. You may realize that the mistake was one moment, but the self-punishment lasted for years. You may realize that the rejection hurt once, but the story you created from it hurt you every day after. You may realize that the bad season ended, but your mind kept living inside it. This is why you must learn to release suffering that no longer needs to be carried. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means you stop making the past the owner of your present. It means you stop giving old pain full permission to speak over every new moment. It means you stop using yesterday's wound to destroy today's peace. It means you understand that what happened mattered, but your life after it also matters. In Buddhism, letting go is one of the greatest freedoms. Many people think letting go is losing something, But often letting go is how you return to yourself. You let go of the need for everyone to understand. You let go of the need to change what already happened. You let go of the belief that your worth depends on who stayed or who left. You let go of the idea that a bad day defines your whole life. As you let go, your hands become free to hold peace again. Before your final breath, ask yourself what you are still holding that is stealing your life. Are you holding anger that burns you more than anyone else? Are you holding regret that cannot change the past? Are you holding a person who already walked away? Are you holding a version of yourself that only existed before the pain? Are you holding a story that says you can never be happy again? Whatever it is, look at it honestly. Ask whether it is helping you live or keeping you buried. Some things cannot be released in one day. That is okay. Letting go can be slow. Healing can be slow. Peace can return slowly. You do not have to force yourself to drop everything at once. You can loosen your grip one breath at a time. Today you may release one thought. Tomorrow, one memory. Another day, one expectation. Little by little, the heart becomes lighter. This is how life changes. Not always through one big moment, but through many small moments of awareness. One day you choose not to replay the same painful thought. One day you choose not to return to the same harmful conversation. One day you choose rest instead of punishment. One day you choose gratitude instead of complaint. One day you choose silence instead of reaction. These small choices become the path that leads you out of suffering. Before your final breath, learn the value of small things. Bad days often make people wait for something big to save them. They wait for a perfect person, a perfect opportunity, a perfect success, or a perfect future. But peace is often found in small things: a deep breath, a simple meal, a clean room, a quiet walk, a kind word, a moment of prayer or meditation, a night of rest, a decision to stop arguing with reality. These small things may not look impressive, but they can slowly bring you back to life. If you ignore small peace, you may spend your whole life chasing big happiness and never feel satisfied. The mind that cannot appreciate a small blessing will often struggle to appreciate a big blessing. Gratitude is a practice. Awareness is a practice. Peace is a practice. You must train yourself to notice what is already here, not only what is missing. This does not mean you should stop growing or stop working for a better life. It means you should not postpone all appreciation until life becomes exactly how you want it. Work for growth, but do not hate the present. Build the future, but do not abandon today. Heal your wounds, but do not forget that this breath is also life. Before your final breath, learn to forgive life for not being perfect. Life will not always follow your plan. People will not always act the way you hope. Some doors will close, some answers will not come. Some seasons will be confusing. Some prayers will take time. Some dreams will change shape. If you fight every imperfection, you will spend your life exhausted. But if you learn to meet life with awareness, you can suffer less, even when life is difficult. Acceptance does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop destroying yourself over what you cannot control. You can care deeply and still accept change. You can work hard and still accept uncertainty. You can love people and still accept that they are not yours to control. You can have dreams and still accept that life may guide you differently than expected. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. One of the most peaceful things you can realize is that you do not have to control everything to live well. You do not have to know the whole future. You do not have to fix every person. You do not have to explain yourself to everyone. You do not have to keep every relationship. You do not have to win every argument. You do not have to carry every problem at once. You can do your best, breathe, and release the rest. Before your final breath, choose peace over pride. Many people lose years of life because they want to be right, prove a point, win an argument, or make others regret what they did. But pride often keeps wounds open. Peace sometimes requires you to walk away without being understood. Peace sometimes requires you to stop explaining. Peace sometimes requires you to let people think what they want while you protect your inner world. This is difficult, but it is freeing. Ask yourself, would you rather have peace or the last word? Would you rather heal or keep replaying the argument? Would you rather live or keep proving that you were hurt? Your pain deserves respect, but your peace deserves protection. Do not sacrifice the rest of your life trying to make people understand what they refuse to see. Before your final breath, choose love without losing yourself. Choose kindness without becoming weak. Choose forgiveness without returning to harm. Choose silence without becoming bitter. Choose strength without becoming cruel. This is the middle way. This is balance. This is how you live with a heart that is open but not unprotected. Bad days may tempt you to become cold. They may make you say, "I will never care again. I will never trust again. I will never hope again." But if you close your heart completely, pain wins in another way. It does not only hurt you once, it changes the way you meet all of life. Do not let what hurt you take away your ability to feel, love, and appreciate. Instead, become wiser. Let your heart stay alive, but let your awareness guide it. Before your final breath, remember that the goal is not to escape every bad day. No one can do that. The goal is to stop letting bad days erase the whole meaning of life. The goal is to suffer without becoming suffering. The goal is to feel pain without building your identity around pain. The goal is to pass through storms without forgetting the sky. The goal is to keep returning to life. Even after life becomes heavy, there will still be difficult days. There will still be moments when your mind becomes loud. There will still be times when old memories return. But now you can meet them differently. You can say, "I know this feeling. It has visited before. It will not stay forever." You can say, "This is a storm, not the whole sky." You can say, "This is pain, not my full identity." You can say, "I can breathe through this moment." This is how spiritual strength grows. Not by never suffering, but by learning how to suffer with awareness. Not by controlling every emotion, but by observing emotions with wisdom. Not by forcing life to be perfect, but by finding peace inside an imperfect life. This is the path Buddhism points toward. Before your final breath, do not realize too late that the ordinary days were precious. Do not realize too late that the people who loved you mattered. Do not realize too late that your body was carrying you with patience. Do not realize too late that the breath you ignored was a miracle. Do not realize too late that you were surrounded by small gifts, but your mind was too busy holding pain to receive them. Wake up now. Not with fear, but with awareness. Wake up to the fact that time is passing. Wake up to the fact that your life is happening now. Wake up to the fact that your bad days are not the whole story. Wake up to the chance you still have to live more gently, more wisely, and more fully. You do not need to wait for a dramatic moment. Begin with today. Begin with the next breath. Begin by noticing one thing that is still okay. Begin by softening one harsh thought. Begin by releasing one old story. Begin by choosing one peaceful action. Begin by reminding yourself that life is still here. One day, may you look back and say, "I had bad days, but I did not let them steal everything." May you say, "I suffered, but I still noticed beauty." May you say, "I was hurt, but I still learned to love wisely." May you say, "I lost things, but I found myself." May you say, "Life was not perfect, but I was present for it." That is a life of awareness. That is a life of wisdom. That is a life that pain could not fully own. So before your final breath, come back to life. Come back to the present. Come back to your heart. Come back to the small blessings. Come back to the truth that everything changes. Come back to the understanding that your worst days were only part of the journey, not the whole journey. Do not let temporary pain make you miss a temporary life. Do not let bad days make you forget the gift of being alive. Do not wait until the end to realize that even with all its difficulty, life was still asking to be lived. Live now gently. Breathe now deeply. Heal now slowly. Let go now, little by little. And remember, before your final breath ever comes, you still have this breath. You still have this moment. You still have the chance to choose peace, choose awareness, choose healing, and choose life again. Bad days are part of life, but they are not the whole of life. Pain may visit you, sadness may sit with you for a while, and difficult seasons may make your heart feel heavy, but none of these things are permanent. In Buddhism, we are reminded that everything changes. The storm changes, the mind changes, the heart changes, And even the pain that feels endless today will slowly change with time, awareness, and patience. Do not let one bad day become the name of your entire life. Do not let one painful season convince you that your story is only suffering. You have had difficult moments, but you have also had moments of strength. You have cried, but you have also continued. You have felt lost, but you are still here. That means something inside you is still choosing life. When life becomes heavy, return to the present moment. Return to your breath. Return to what is still real, still simple, and still peaceful. Do not believe every dark thought your pain creates. Do not call yourself broken just because you are healing. Do not wait for a perfect life before you allow yourself to live. A difficult day can still hold one small blessing, one lesson, one breath of peace, and one chance to begin again. Your bad days can teach you, but they should not bury you. Let them make you wiser, not colder. Let them make you stronger, not bitter. Let them teach you what matters, what to release, what to protect, and how precious this life really is. The goal is not to live without pain. The goal is to stop letting pain steal your whole heart. So do not die thinking your bad days were your whole life. They were only chapters, not the entire book. They were only clouds, not the whole sky. They were only visitors, not your permanent home. You are still alive. You are still breathing. You are still learning. You are still becoming. And as long as you are still here, your story can still change. Live gently. Heal slowly. Breathe deeply. Let go wisely, and remember, even after the hardest days, life is still quietly waiting for you to come back.